I think that's how we should start every stream from now on. I've never smelled my dick before. Hi, Internet.
And then if at some point we don't start a stream like that, then
they know.
Yeah.
They know. Someone's double jointed.
Oh. Somebody got rib removal.
Yeah, which is relatively cheap from what I hear.
Like how cheap?
I don't know.
Who'd you hear it from?
Who'd you hear it from?
What?
What's the recovery
What did
time
you say?
on that?
You never fully recover because part of you's not there.
That's a good point. You can't fight that.
Nope, never gets better. You're always missing that rib.
Well, both of them.
Yeah, but I mean,
one on each side.
Yeah. Well, unless you only get the one.
No.
Good angle. Yeah.
That's dumb though.
Well, I mean, I'm
Well,
not.
that would lead to scoliosis.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're heavier on one side, so you feel like
Yeah. That's a good point.
saying a cured scoliosis tilt you in the opposite direction.
That's
I
awesome.
hear that that's how that works.
What is this, a medieval witch doctor? Like, yeah, that might work. Let's take out one.
Totally, my next character just bullshit medical stuff like.
No.
Leeches.
Fine.
Yeah, it's snakes, leeches.
I mixed a potion. It's made out of
My
dog
dex
poop.
is just diseasing
Maybe it'll work.
people and killing them accidentally. But
Yeah, you
There's
could be
no
one of the
medical
sport. You could be a sport
profession.
druid.
Yeah,
You know what you need is some spores.
there you go. Yes. And here it cures everything.
How could I have spore if I haven't had any yet?
Oh, Jake. You never cease to slay me.
Sorry guys, we were encoding, or we were too high so that it wouldn't work.
Ah!
I hate when I'm
Shit!
Like that one.
Did it again!
I got everybody too high.
Ah!
Echo.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so how's that going, guys?
What?
You know.
The metallic sound?
It's alright. Can I try your can wine?
Sure.
Will I like it?
Maybe.
The can really brings out the
Tannins.
Yeah.
tannins.
It's not bad.
Not bad,
It's
right?
got a flinty flavor. I can smell it from here.
You do taste the can a little bit.
Yeah.
You do. It's not gonna be as good as from a glass, obviously.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
I love
sweetly.
it.
It's like, do you like wine?
Yeah.
Then you like it.
Yeah.
It's
Wine.
Do you like to drink wine? Is that one of the appealing things you find about wine?
It's my favorite thing about wine.
Yeah,
actually.
that's your kind of wine.
Yeah.
Because you can drink it.
And then
Yeah.
you're gonna bring like to can thing and stuff like that. So you don't have to actually bring a bottle of wine in with cups.
You can bring it.
Do you like beer?
Straight out the
Do you
damn
wine?
bottle.
Sure.
I did that once, and my
What?
drama club
Raspy.
director was very worried about me
What?
drinking out of the bottle.
She was just being
Your
dramatic.
trauma drummer?
Yeah, Rich.
When?
At the benefit concert. And
Oh,
then after the
yeah,
party,
you got a bottle
I
of
was
mead, right?
Yeah, I was chugging out of the bottle because there were finger foods, and I bought a bottle of mead, and I didn't have enough hands for my food and the wine glass and the bottle, so I was just drinking out of the bottle. And that is
Same
why
director called him fat.
that's why he asked me to be in that play. He told me later, and he was like, "Fat, dumb, and drunk is no way to go through life, son," which is a quote from a movie, and I got that he was quoting the movie, but I was fat and drunk, so.
Yeah, 2 out
But
of
that
3
was
ain't
right
bad.
before I hit rock bottom and stopped some of that. When I shit my pants in my trunk and almost froze.
That was right before you shit your pants?
Yeah, I think so. I was right.
I knew you when this story occurred?
Yeah, probably.
I thought this was before our friendship.
Oh no.
Oh,
This
gee.
is when Kevin and Courtney first got together. They got together like 5 years ago.
Oh, gee. This was like,
Sometimes you
Just
fall
out of
asleep
college,
in your trunk
Sean.
and shit your pants and almost die.
That is a thing that can happen there.
damn.
Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I had actual things over here so I can monitor the chat. But anyway, welcome to Evrand 26. Sorry for the late delay, but I didn't want to try to set up the cameras by myself, which would have proved difficult.
Yeah.
So having people here to get us back to our original setting is great. So a couple of things up front to just get out of the way. One, if you are watching live in the chat, could you please let us know, one, how the audio sounds, two, how the video looks. Because I'm getting an encoding overload on OBS, which may be because I tried to upscale us to 1080p for streaming, which we should be able to do, but I just want to make sure that that doesn't come across as garbage on your guys' end. Last good so far. Thank you, Ben. And Ben, I will be getting to that in just a second. So, a couple of things. One, we are sponsored by both Initiative Coffee Company, which
Cheers.
we love coffee from them, as well as Elderwood Academy. So, thank you, Quentin and Dan. You can see all of our lovely products kicking around here on the table because they are good friends, and you should support them. And if you choose to do so, I will have to put a link in the chat eventually. I just didn't have time to do that yet, where you can buy stuff from them and help support us. So it's just a referral link. Doesn't, no percentages off, not yet. We'll see. And last but not least, coming out probably tomorrow or later tonight, a good friend of mine, Danny, you may know as the 3D Printing DM, has a Kickstarter. It's like more than 10 times funded, and it's going on for about 8 more days. And it's files to print really awesome miniatures like this guy.
Oh.
So you can print super cool dragons. It's called the Lost Dragons. You can download a bunch of really cool looking dragon minis. Like this one, the Ice Twin, which was super cool. Fun fact, this one printed no supports. It just, four pieces, a body, head, 2 wings, but no supports. And yeah, it looks great. And this is only one of many.
Nice.
And there's more to be announced. And
Is that
backers.
your highest quality of printing?
No, this I printed on a little bit less because it's so big. And you don't necessarily need, it would just take a lot longer to do so. So that's
Very
that.
awesome.
So we are going to be playing a very fun and special game tonight. A playtest, if you will, for our good friends at Cobalt Press. So Ben McFarland, who's here in the chat, thank you, Ben, for sending me this adventure that I will be running tonight for you guys to play. So if you are unfamiliar with Cobalt Press, you should check it out. I've almost killed these guys a whole bunch with several Cobalt Press monsters.
Yeah,
like
true.
the
Butterfly Swarm.
The Butterfly Swarm, that was the OG from
OG.
Tome of Beasts. I
Yeah.
almost murdered the party with the undead Butterfly Swarm.
Butterfly Swarm. Shark and
Bear's not dead.
Oh.
The zombies that vomited.
Oh, yeah.
Slugs.
Yep, those guys from Tome of Beasts.
That
almost got
the great white shark.
That wasn't them.
Was it that?
No, but the Ursa Polaris was.
Oh, okay.
The polar
okay.
bear almost got you.
Yeah, that was down to the
Yeah.
last hit.
Not on my one.
No.
In the fight last time, actually, it was all
You turned the
NPCs.
tides.
Oh, yeah,
The
cool.
combat, the blood mage, and the doom speakers.
Yeah, those were super cool.
Um,
As the party member who took no damage, those things were super cool.
I agree.
yeah.
It's always nice to be that guy.
Yeah, but I witnessed them do a lot of damage to other things.
Yeah, no, it worked out pretty well. So,
Do you have paper towels here for batteries?
No, I do not.
While you do the recap real quick.
Yes. Okay. So, what happened last time? Pat, would you like to provide any insight on what happened last time? Or
Sure.
if not, I can do it.
We fought pirates.
Okay, go upstairs, Sean.
They
Actually, there might be some on the other side.
destroyed the boat that they were on. The last survivor.
What? They don't know what.
What happened before that?
So anyway,
From the beginning.
at the start of last episode, the party encountered a enemy vessel comprised of several doom speakers and a blood mage on the seas. For what purpose, they never actually found out. They used all manner of necromancy magic and blood absorption and evil anti-paladin tactics to fight the party. They boarded the Fighting Mongoose, Dick Fairley's ship, and they fought, and they did
Best way to dick.
They did relatively well, and they managed to defeat them, although one of them had fallen overboard in the attempt to board, and the ship had moved away, and the Doom Speaker used its caustic blood to burn an acid hole through the bottom of their ship to sink it, so that if he couldn't have it, no one could. The party continued to sail onwards, and I did say Dick Fairley. Yes, that's the name of the NPC.
Yep.
Richard Fairley, if you will. So anyway, Dick Fairley joined the... he was there with the party, kind of off to the side, using his keg golem buddy, Barry, to help aid the party. And when they were beset by a significant wind and hurricane storm, kind of pushing them inward to the coast. And though the party did their best to survive and navigate through the rough waters, managed to impact with a large subterranean rock.
We anchored correctly.
So the fighting mongoose had a large hole in its side that was quickly dealt with through ice-based magic from wave frozen in place as best they could to keep the minimal amount of water from coming in. And then they managed to beach the fighting mongoose on the shoreline, tied it off, weathered the storm, and decided, okay, now we need to figure out what we're going to do. And Dick told you guys that we're going to need new boards.
Right.
He says, but you could probably find timber here in these woods, but you're going to have to find someone with the capability to plane and make the raw lumber into boards that he can then use to try to repair the ship. And you have the number, right?
15 boards, 15 to 20 foot long, 1 foot width.
Yes. So
Big boards.
that's what the party is up to tonight. So we're gonna pick up, and the next day after having weathered the storm, Dick's gonna stay at the boat and do his best he can to clean up and do what repairs he can do with the materials that he has. Again, Dick's vessel isn't ridiculously big. It's the 4 of you guys plus him and Barry to man it. So it's it's like a larger sailboat. It's not like a full-blown ship, because that would you need a whole crew and an immense amount of people from all different sizes of things. So it was free, and he got him to help you. So now you guys are looking for that. So you are in, for those of you in the chat who want to know where we are, I'll pull up the map real quick. So if you look to the north of this map, kind of in just past the leftmost side of the Wyvern Peaks, kind of right where the mountains end and the forest begins, is about where the party impacted. So that is where they are currently setting out to try and find literally anyone or anything. They know Bricken's homestead isn't that far from here, and if they actually it is, it's about 150, 200 miles on foot to get there.
Right.
The goal is to hopefully find someone local,
Right.
who can make the repairs so that they can take the easy route around the coast. So that's where we will join you guys tonight. What would you like to do? You wake up in the next morning, everybody's got a long rest, hit points are back. You guys, who was exhausted? Do you remember? Everyone was exhausted.
Everyone had one. We still have one level.
You still have one. You guys have
Those
cleansed
are
your
fine.
level of exhaustion.
Good.
You guys still have one, and
Is that
disadvantage on ability checks, just from the sheer cold and the rain and the constantly beat down. D-Man, what program did I use for that map? That was incarnate.com. It's free. You should check it out. Okay. So, you guys are in the forest. It is chilly up this way. Everything is wet. The rain has passed for the moment. You kind of weathered through the length of the storm. So it's still kind of gray and overcast, but it is a little kind of overcast anyway, just due to the canopy here. What would you like to do?
Hell of a day yesterday.
It was.
I don't remember most of it.
It's probably because you got your shit wrecked. So, that'll happen sometimes. Head injuries. We need to find some,
People.
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah.
I can't fix the ship.
Yeah, I know. We went over all of this like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. I was just reiterating.
Cool.
All right.
Would you also like to reiterate anything else?
I'd like to reiterate that we haven't had breakfast yet.
And
then I'll start making some breakfast.
Okay.
All right.
Was Tad Cooper okay after last week?
Tad Cooper was almost wasn't even there.
Yeah,
Every time.
Pat kept on remembering, but then when it came to be your turn, I just forgot again.
He was
Yes.
hunting rats down.
Brina,
Oh yeah, he was being our ratter.
Yeah, he was. Brina spent the entirety of the combat except for the first round unconscious.
Yeah. Oops.
Got up, unconscious. Got up, unconscious.
Well, at least
So
you
in
got
a way, you guys got past the whole combat without Brina.
Yeah.
Or Tad
She
Cooper.
took some damage, so that's
She
good.
took some hits, yeah, for sure.
She hits like a boss.
Yeah.
I make breakfast. We're having oatmeal with a little bit of honey.
Okay.
I'm grateful after yesterday. That we
It's
saw
warm, so that'll make you feel
That's
better.
nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Super on board.
Alright, now
Alright.
let's get to looking for any sort of...
Do you guys think that settlements would be more likely along the mountain?
along the coast.
Okay.
Why don't you... And plus, if we're going to find somebody who can fix a boat on the coast, makes sense.
Well, we need some kind of carpenter. Yeah.
Send
kinda-
a call. See
Well,
if
we
find-
need a
if he finds any
general-
villages. or
We need a
something that's
general
around here.
direction.
Why don't you send your guy up?
Send
And,
it out.
see if
We're on the
there's
shore,
About
right?
the local
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like we're not too far from the water
Area?
right now.
Correct.
region.
So just have to fly over
Not
the coast.
this far out.
However
You never
far in this
traveled
direction,
this
and
far.
however far in this direction.
This is
See if there's anything
miles.
along
Yes.
it.
Yeah, but like, what are we
Along the
gonna do in the
lowland
meantime?
about
I feel like
Chill?
we need to start moving
40
somewhere.
miles
Hmm?
outside of Brickens.
40?
Yeah.
Towards Brickens, then I guess.
That brings us out in the mountains. So
I guess so.
Alright, I mean, I can send. I feel like we need to start moving in a direction. So if we're picking the coastline, we pick the coastline. While you're cooking, I'm going to send up Owl below the cloud line, fly around for a bit, see if he sees any like smoke coming from what would appear to be a settlement from here.
Okay.
Just give us a heading.
Okay. So go ahead and you can make me a perception check for Owl.
Based on sight,
It
so
is.
he has advantage.
let's do.
Thanks. So that's a 20 on the roll, and he has a +3, so 23.
Okay. Alright, so you guys are moving or you're waiting for him to give you a heading before you set out?
Well, this is just during the cooking. I'm
Right.
sending
Oh,
him out
I see.
just to get a quick glance to see if we can get a heading, and then if by the time we're done eating we don't have one, then
We'll head down the coast.
head. Yeah, I guess.
You guys are going to the coast is the plan?
I think for now.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you know, you don't know what the coastline will look like. Previously, it was sheer drops, basically
Right.
direct until you guys kind of came to a more beachy area where you could land the boat.
Mhm.
All right, so you guys take, what did you say, the better part of an hour to cook?
Sure.
Okay. So you guys take the time, you make your oatmeal and your honey, and you guys kind of warm up. You were, for those of you who don't remember or weren't here, you were in basically an uprooted tree.
Ah.
Had kind of a large tree had uprooted, and Dick took some canvas and kind of laid it over the top to kind of get you a runaway to get some of the water out, so you have some relative amount of dryness.
Nice.
I mean,
But
it still overflowed anyway. But
it did at one
Good.
point overflow, yeah.
as you remember.
Yes, as you clearly remember.
Honestly.
From being here last time. So you guys, you cook. Dick is happy to have decent food for,
Sure.
you know, for the first time in it's what seems like forever, although it was really just yesterday you made food.
It was rough.
Oh, and wasn't some great food made, if I recall? Was it last time that we made spicy paste? Or
Yes.
you made two.
You made spicy
sushi.
paste.
Oh, and it came out good?
Again?
Well, we have no frame of reference because Ember was the only one who had ever had spicy,
Spicy
paste.
paste.
But you made a paste, and it was spicy,
That's the second
and you
time
put
this
it
year.
on
Yes, but
the.
Brina's never
you
had
put it
it.
on the
I
tuna.
was brain
And it was
never
good?
had
It was good.
Yeah, you made like tuna rolls basically
cool.
from a tuna that Wave was. Wave spent the whole time trying to catch a marlin to tie it to the boat to try to get it to pull the boat.
So I could ride it.
All right, Aquaman.
Yeah, it didn't work
Donkey Kong
out.
Country too.
Yeah, it did not work out.
Just to cue the cool Donkey Kong Country music.
So,
That's good sound.
you guys, Owl comes out and Owl kind of comes back and gives you a general idea of like something's weird, elves, and like a general heading.
Oh,
That's closer than Bricken's homestead.
cool. Something weird about elves that way.
And also, as a reminder too, if you forgot, the reason you're heading to Bricken's homestead was it was beset by a black dragon. So something to keep in mind as you are planning to get closer
Keep an eye out for one of them.
on foot.
So if that was our destination, are we still trying to repair the ship, or are we just walking to Brick and Homestead?
Repair the ship.
Yeah, it'd be kind of rude to just...
Yeah.
Do I know anything about elves? Can they work wood? I assume, but that's just racism.
I feel like it would be more racist to assume that they can't.
Why?
They can be carpenters just like the rest of us.
Maybe don't assume and just, find out whether
Do
or not
I
they
know?
can.
Does anybody know anything about elves?
I mean, I've
I can
met
speak
a
it.
bunch of elves.
Were any of them carpenters?
Not that I recall, but like I
Maybe
met some
they'll
stonemasons
be a druid elf.
and some farmers and some thieves. So they've had various professions.
Maybe we
All
can
right.
find a druid elf.
They're not gonna want us cutting down trees to make timber.
But maybe they have
however
some
it works.
druid nature magic that can help repair the ship.
Maybe they could turn the ship.
I don't know enough about magic to say that.
I don't
But
either.
it doesn't sound right.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, this dude does stuff with water all the time. Maybe
Can
Can I make a history check to see if I know anything about elves? Maybe they're
I
famed.
know how to speak elf.
4.
I know how to
Oh,
speak.
it was almost an
Ah.
anybody.
Yes.
12. What do you want from me?
No, I don't know anything about elves.
You did know something about elves. Like, if there's the ghost of a memory long since past that you're like, got 20 years.
Definitely pointy ears.
Spent all that time thinking about it. No luck. I mean, some of you've had interactions with elves.
Okay.
Everybody has
Yeah,
in one
right.
form or another.
Pretty common.
To know whether or not they are expert carpenters, I mean, maybe, right? Druids know things about nature. Sometimes
Yeah,
elves are
exactly.
druids.
I say go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They're the near. Alright, let's go.
Alright.
So you guys, you can make me a survival check at advantage because you're.
Are there a bunch
fine.
of trees?
There are a bunch of trees.
Can I hop from trees?
Sure, you can make me an acrobatics check.
Like that's how I jump.
Disadvantage.
Oh, it is a
It
disadvantage.
is a disadvantage.
Do your best.
You have a new box to roll in. Don't
It's
forget.
true. You're right. I always I
Ah,
forget. I've been
should
so
let me
used
do
to
it.
know.
Too bad.
It's okay.
I know it's cool having a box.
A 12.
I feel so quiet.
Plus
13,
15.
You're trying to jump from tree to
No,
tree?
plus 2.
15.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you
For a little bit.
you jump up and like that first branch, you're like, yeah, I got this, and you jump to the next one. You like slip a little bit because it's wet, and you're like, all right, okay. And you're like, I can probably do this, but you're just not feeling at the top of your game. So you go for like a couple of you go for like 5 trees.
No, screw that.
Okay, you prove that you could do it.
Yeah.
Ah, that was pretty good.
Thanks. Like climbing trees.
I'm
Like
gonna
climbing
look
trees.
for tracks as we walk.
Okay.
Just like in general?
Yeah, whatever sort of
So-
tracks there are.
Right.
Because we're in snow right now, right?
No.
No?
Forest.
You are in
What?
forest. There is.
It's all snowy on the
I mean, yeah, it's. Yes, that's true. It's cold, but it's not. There is like a level of frost on the ground.
Okay, so but it's just frost. It's not.
Yeah, it's not like it's not snowing right now. It was like a tropical hurricane
Oh,
came
okay,
through
okay,
and
okay.
probably picked up any remaining snow that was there at
Gotcha.
the moment.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
okay. So what did you say you got, Tron? I'm sorry. 13?
13, yes.
Yeah. All right. So you guys travel for about an hour and a half,
Are you still here?
and
Oh,
based on the implication that you received from Owl, you feel like you might have gone the wrong.
Oh, this might not be the right way. Owl? Go check again!
Why don't we just have the owl lead us
He did. Poorly.
to here?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the owl goes up and looks around. You can make another perception check for your owl.
Plus 2.
Plus 2, 19, 21, plus 3, 24!
Okay. Yeah. So the owl's like, no, it's this way.
Sorry. This way, guys, let's go!
Oops.
So you course correct. It takes like 2 hours to get where you're going. So it's around lunchtime already at this point. And you guys start to make your way into what you could easily see what would be overlooked from ground level easily. Just the way the trees are together, sort of making a shadow box pattern. It does a very good job of kind of obscuring this elven village from the outside. But from up above, and with an owl's 24 perception check, you can kind of have an idea of where you're going. So now you know what you're looking for.
Okay, cool.
And you guys make your way through these kind of winding, very tightly grown together trees into what seems to be a fairly decent sized elven village here in the woods. And you can see that there is clearly something going on, right? There is finery, and there's definitely some celebration or festival of some kind for some reason happening. And you can kind of see people are out in the streets, and there's preparations being done for some large something.
Alright, no one sell any gems.
Okay, I don't think I have.
Okay, wow.
Good. Well, last time we did, the guy who bought it, it was a small town like this, and the guy got murdered, and then we got it back. It was a whole thing. So don't even bother.
Yeah. Well, we don't have that gem anymore.
No. Kirschkamer has it.
I don't think it.
Kirschkamer?
Yeah, you remember? No, it wasn't Kirschkamer. You know, the guy who's just.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
Thurban?
Thurban, that's what I said. Thurban.
Kirschkamer.
That's what I said. Owl Thurban.
It's just like, yeah.
It really looked like you were just like talking to yourself there.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Just letting you know so that like if we go talk to I can't speak Elvish, but that's good.
Oh, God. Wave, can you also speak Elven?
I really wish I could.
Okay.
Can you speak Elven?
No.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Brina, before we do this, first off, calm down. Thank you.
Brina, calm down.
That's not helping. So when you communicate on our behalf, can you clear it with us first? Just like talk about what we're going to talk. They probably speak common. Let's just go.
All right.
If they don't,
I'm
on board. I go.
You are apparently our A-team for talking to elves in their native tongue, but I'm just asking.
So tell me what to tell them, and I'll just translate.
Okay, thank you. That's perfect. We'll do that.
For those of you who don't know, Brina is. Where did we land?
I think 12, 13, something like
It's
that.
been anywhere between 12 and 16.
That's true. It's always a mystery.
She is at best an adolescent.
Yes, 12 to 16. Every time I talk to Celine, she either gets younger or starts going back older. So you'd think that she would know so that I could know, so I can make proper decisions.
I haven't landed on anything
That's not
yet.
how that works.
That's not how we work, Ted.
I mean, I feel like the younger end of the spectrum would be more appropriate because that's how people have been treating me like in this game. So like,
But that doesn't mean you have to.
that's true.
I mean, that's also...
Maybe I'm a young-looking 14.
That's how you've been acting. You've been acting like a child, so we treat you like a child.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, I've been
Weird.
stuck in a monastery. For
Oh
years.
look, are there elves walking over towards us?
There are.
Oh, weird.
Wow, shocker! Let's go.
As you guys are very clearly not from here.
Yes.
So I should also say that even though this is there's the amidst all of this, and I say village, right? But it's multiple. There's a couple of tiers, right? The trees are pretty tall here. Owl's just below the cloud line, so you have some upper tier areas. But you are in like small towns where like a fireball could decimate the town.
Oh,
there's nobody left. There's a decent amount of people here.
Similar size to like Concord.
Ish, yeah. And there seems to be here in this forest, which seems a little strange, but you guys don't really know anything about elves, apparently. So there is a large.
I know the language.
I mean, you know the language, but I mean just like in general, there's a big presence of like a big equestrian presence and breeding and horses and things of that nature. So there is. And, you know, as you see this, it kind of clicks to a couple of you, like, oh, you know, elves and nature and animals is like it's a stereotype, but in this case it seems to be true.
Okay.
And, you know, elven war horses are supposed to be bred in a certain way that makes them different than your average just warhorse that we bred in other settlements. They have different intricacies and things like that. So
Smarter, a little faster.
maybe you've never rode one. So.
Look at that horse, though. He looks pretty smart.
Yes. Yes. So, a couple of them come up to you, like 2 or 3, and they do have bows and arrows and swords, but they don't seem to be in, like, they're not, like, they're no weapons drawn. Like, they just seem to be a little happy to they're just in a general mood of revelry about the town. And you guys can all make me insight checks.
Oh, terrible.
Yes, it's disadvantage.
Till
for you.
tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
3.
What kind
4.
of check was it?
Insight.
5.
3, 4, 5.
Oh shit.
6.
9.
Did you give guidance to each of us?
Insight. I
That's
figured
not gonna
13.
13.
Alright.
Alright,
Okay.
Dave. With your potion brewing capabilities, you kind of that gives you a little bit of a leg up. There may be some alcohol involved. Like, there's a little rosy to the cheeks. Like, this is a festival. You put 2 and 2 together. So they kind of come up and they're just like, "What ho, travelers? What brings you to our wondrous city?"
In common?
What ho!
In Elven first.
Ah.
And then they look, like, expectantly.
No.
Hi!
And
I
then-
say in Elven.
Okay, and then they're like, there's like, you're like, okay, all right, this is the trial. But you know what? They're elves, so that's not like a. So they will.
Sorry to interrupt your party or anything, but our ship broke down, and we're looking for somebody who might be able to help us repair it.
And they're like, they think for a little bit, and they look to one another, and they're like, well, we may be able to help with that, but we are clearly busy.
Of course, I don't mean right now.
So you should probably come into town and see what all the hubbub is about, and perhaps after you can arrange to have someone do whatever it is you just told us you wanted to do.
Sounds good.
Do you guys speak common?
And they're like, oh yes, we do.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
They invited us to go into the party, and then later we're gonna find somebody to help us find the ship.
Sounds perfect.
That sound. Did you actually say that?
In so many words.
What? Cool.
Common, they speak with a British
Up
accent.
top.
Apparently, hey.
Because I'm little.
Yeah, you're so little.
Alright, yeah.
What are you guys celebrating?
And they say, well, come and walk, and they will walk you through the town, and they will tell you the tale of basically in a long since at a height of Elven royalty in previous years. Basically, the Elven lords gifted this city with a magical ritual designed to ensure the birth of healthy foals and strong bloodlines for horses going forward. Right. Keep the city free of any kind of dark influences. Specifically, they'll tell you, they won't go too much into the details, but to keep things away from they reference the eternal queen of night and magic. And this...
The negative sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And every year, basically, they go through this whole celebration to kind of to celebrate that, and there's a parade around the city, carrying the ritual's key, which is a golden scepter, to 9 locations around the city. They basically continued this every year, but it's slowly become a figment. Like it's like a ritual that people do, but they don't really remember why it's done. Yeah. And this is 5 Elven centuries, which is 500 years, but like in an elf's mind, that's like a blink of an eye.
Right.
Over time. So people did it, and it's kind of like, oh, we don't need to do that anymore, right? It's just more of a party now than it is a true ritual event. And that's what you guys are stumbling into, the preparations for this festivities.
Let's not fuck it up.
You had something you want to say?
I was gonna ask them, are there gonna be any horse races? We race these horses.
They tell you that there is not a race of horses, but there is, or maybe there is, and I just didn't.
A race of elves.
There is a race of elves here. So they will tell you that basically there is the parade, but it's kind of, it lives on now in this race that we're mentioning here. So half steeplechase, half no holds barred contest runs the route laid down by the old elven lords, and the champion carries this baton. Last year's champion will carry the baton of victory during the contest. And basically the whole city shuts down. So you're not going to get any help with what you want to do in the first place anyway while this event is happening. So so there's a group of people chosen, and that's kind of how that goes down. So they're like, this is great. You guys are here just in time for all of the festivities.
All right.
What timing?
What timing? Serendipity.
Indeed. So,
What now? No, I'm just so little.
All right, let's.
the day of this is to, like, you guys are here the day before, so it's
Okay.
preparation.
Stop it.
So that it will happen on tomorrow.
Is there anything we can do to help?
And they're like, well, they tell you that it's sweet that you would suggest.
I'm often
Frank,
referred
you're
to as
sweet.
sweet.
But no, it's kind of like a, mean no disrespect, but it's, it's kind of an elf thing.
All
But
right,
be about the city, see, enjoy, partake of the food and the drink, and
We do like food and drink.
mingle, and perhaps maybe you'll look out to find someone who can help you with what you seek, and then we'll
Cool.
wait.
Weird, I'm getting hungry.
Is Dick with us?
No, Dick stayed at the
Dick-
boat to make
Okay.
sure that it was okay.
Gotcha.
Which was a
Alright,
fairly
thanks.
good idea.
We will do that. Nice meeting you guys. Definitely see you here tomorrow.
Cool.
probably the day after that.
Yeah, probably. Let's go mingle, guys. Catch you guys later. Team meeting.
Oh wait, what was your name?
Ooh, shit. Umami.
Oh, got him.
I've never
Oh,
looked at
mommy.
it before.
No, I just Aramil was the one guy, and the other guy's name is Jeff.
Aramil and Jeff.
And Jeff.
I like Jeff.
And Jeff.
Jeff?
And Jeff.
Jeff.
And Jeff. Aramel and Jeff.
No, I think that's just and. I think it's just a short and.
Oh.
Aramil
My apologies.
and Jeff.
Anyway.
Alright,
let's
team
go
meeting.
get some food.
Team meeting. Whispers.
And some
Whispers.
drinks.
Whispers.
Yeah.
Food and drinks.
So I heard about this thing.
Alright.
And it was just a story. But it was like a festival for like things, and then they murder the newcomers in the sacrifice. So just like keep an eye out in case they want to
Should
murder
we buddy
sacrifices.
system?
Yes, but I feel like all of us, all five of us, should be all five of our buddies.
Yeah.
So never split the party.
Is it too
Yes,
late
yes.
to insight them now that he's told me this?
Yeah, they're gone. You're like, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't insighting.
You're like, I wonder, and you're like, as you finish rolling up some dowager leaf and light it, you're like,
Hilarious.
huh?
Yes. And also for people to be way too happy that we're here. Those are the two things. If they're either like, if they're twisting mustaches, bad sign. But also if they're like, newcomers for the festival, and looking at each other like,
Wink, wink.
now we don't have to kill
Nudge,
one of
nudge.
ours. Yeah, then keep that up. But all this was in whispers. We were whispering this. Stop,
You're
Rick.
using two fingers.
Rick, stop. What do you mean?
So you're twice as quiet.
Is that how that works?
I'm really
Yeah.
upset
It's
there's
like-
no horse races.
It's not like how you like pinky promise and like
'Cause-
steal a secret because it's a secret. So shh.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
No, I don't.
I like it.
I don't like. I can't
Pinky
get.
promise.
How about
Pinky promise.
I can't get.
With the water?
I
With the
can't
water?
get close
With
enough
the-
to people's face to do that. And you're all so big.
I'm gonna.
You crouch down.
She's
I'm
not.
not
I'm not that tall.
She's not
Yeah, you
responding
are.
to psh with the water.
She's
She's just ignoring you.
3-1.
What?
You've been getting hit in the face with water this whole time. Just psh with water.
Yeah, I'm 3'1".
I'm really upset. There's a. I'll hold
I'm 4'6".
Snowball up in the air.
So we're not that much different.
What level do I get the thing where I can catch things and throw them back?
You have it already.
Oh, ha
You gotta roll for that, don't you?
Did you attack her?
I just did.
With what?
The snowball.
Oh, did you hit her?
It's just a reaction to
No,
deflect
well,
what
roll
I
him
get.
to see if he hits you.
No.
That echo.
That echo. We need to get some
No,
shit on the walls.
Yeah, we need to
Alright,
work on
so-
that soon.
What if I pretend to drink a lot more than I actually am?
Sure, if you want.
This is
That
water.
way maybe they'll lower their
Do it
defenses
anyway.
around me.
Yeah, it's good. It's a great idea.
Also, I can't literally lower my defenses.
No, they're on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wear them
Alright.
constantly. Why can't you let people in?
That is a
Because
super
it's-
loud haha.
Ha
You're welcome, internet.
Did it crack the mic?
Did it crack? Is
did it
that
crack-
did I hit the decibel?
Did
Where-
it crack the mic, or are we still within?
Was it still within the green?
She's like a low passing jet.
Yeah. It's a sad sounding jet.
Yeah.
The saddest jet. Alright, yeah, let's go there and get food.
Alright.
Yes, food.
Don't be careful what you eat.
Yeah, well, as of right now, it's just like if they bring us something special, be careful. But if we just get food from a stall, they can't.
Alright.
Stall.
What if we just steal stuff? That way they don't even have the opportunity.
Yeah, but then if they
Because
get...
then if we get mad, because then if we get caught, they won't help us fix our ship.
If everything's cool.
If everything's cool, there's so
And
many
then they might-
possibilities. There's
let's kill
endless
us instead,
possibilities.
but-
Oh, hey, what's that?
Food.
Ah, so we walk over to the
My
side.
little legs.
Okay, so you guys head over to the food. Okay, so you guys are there, and there is, we're the happiest since it's a laughing jet. We're still in, so we're good. We didn't crack anything out. So we're good. We'll see how the encoding looks, because it's like, hey, you're blowing out your computer, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Everything's fine. So you guys are now going on, and you can see that there is a full spread, and contrary to what you may have been told or may believe, there is meat on these tables, right? It's not just like fruits and nuts and berries and shoots, right?
What kind of meat?
There is venison, right? Because they're in the forest nearby. But you also get the feeling in sort of there's like not anything really wasted kind of a way. Like if you're gonna cull something from the land, then you're gonna use as much of it as you can.
That's respectable.
You guys, you are the cook. You
Yeah.
can make me a cooking tools check.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. That is a 17.
It is definitely not
Good math,
like
Jimmy.
people.
It's
You
def-
know that it's not like racers of previous, like this happens every day, like you're the new racers or the new
Right.
people in the party or whatever. It's definitely not humanoid meat. It seems to be venison or and whatever else.
This is good.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
I'll have 2.
Alright, so you guys are able to, and it's basically right now, you guys, it's like, it's kind of buffet style, and it's just sort of like put on by the town.
Alright.
Like in the kind
So
of the
you're
royal,
saying
so it's
everything's-
free.
Giant potluck.
Basically.
Oh,
Like a really extravagant potluck.
I'm gonna go up to someone and be like, "Is this like a community thing? Like, is there a place where I could add to the thing? I don't want to just take shit from your festival."
And then, like, there's a woman who's kind of an elven woman who's sitting at a table, and she's definitely rosy cheeked. And she's got like a jug in her hand, not like what you've encountered in Feliston. This is just like more like imagine like
normal drunk.
like normal drunk.
Like happy drunk
That's Feliston is its own animal.
Yeah.
Everybody's a level of functioning alcoholic there.
Mm.
It's just what level they are. And like liver transplants, they're like yay big. Like livers are huge in Feliston. So one liver from a Felistonite.
Felistonian?
Felistonian.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that can cover at least like 4 people. Anyway, and she's just like, that's so nice. She like boops your nose.
Oh God! Don't.
Which is super insensitive.
Yeah.
And she's just like, just so nice.
Is that a no?
No, it's nice. Go ahead. What'd you bring?
No. I'm gonna pull out my last remaining teapot from Felliston.
And she's like, you made tea?
Oh, it's not tea. It's very sweet and it's very alcoholic.
And she's like, this doesn't make sense, but okay.
What's your guys' opinion on spicy food?
And she's just like, I like a little spice. And she winks
Oh.
at you.
Fucking graybeard's getting it. What?
No.
May I ask what you got in your glass?
She's an elf.
And she's just like,
I don't care if she's
she
an elf.
like gesture it towards you and like a little sloshes
She's
out.
not attractive.
But like with a decent amount of dexterity, she catches it back in the cup.
Ooh,
And she's like, it's
Don't
wine.
knock it if you haven't
Oh.
tried it, man.
I don't know if I haven't tried it. I can't remember.
She's just
Well,
like,
It's the dew, man.
You gotta try
She's
it
like,
again,
I don't-
man.
it sounds like it comes from
Nah.
and she will drink it.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's not.
And is this just like standard, right?
Yeah.
Alright, she's just like, that is very sweet.
Delightful.
And I feel like I have more energy.
It's a good combo.
Yeah.
All right. It was nice meeting you. Let's go around the town.
Got a little bit of the boozy
Alright.
bit.
Okay, she's just
I
like,
figured we
Enjoy.
would walk around today
Alright.
while people are
Gives you
doing their
energy.
things.
Getting set
And
up.
gets you messed
Alright.
And that
Can we
way...
find anybody who's not drunk?
yes, as you guys can all make me perception checks.
Oh, darn.
up.
Oh, I'm having a bad night. 7.
19.
Okay.
No, 14.
Okay.
25.
Oh, alright, so
That's so nice.
Rick is just, maybe Rick is a little,
Racist.
he's just feeling like, I don't know, maybe Rick's thinking like, man, I've been real racist, but that elf chick was real, you're getting a pretty good vibe from her. And that kind of, he's just thinking about that when the rest of you are like, oh, look at that person over there doesn't seem too drunk. Rick's just thinking about this, walking along.
Hmm.
And you see...
You want to.
And Wave, with his very high perception, is able to communicate and also still perceive. You can see an elven woman, and she seems to be, I don't want to say flustered, but maybe a little bit. And she is overseeing things, and she seems like she's kind of like, she doesn't have a checklist, right? But she's the kind of person that you could see having a checklist and organizing things. But she also seems to be like checking on things and then like observing the people and like checking on things. And she's clearly not drunk because she's focused on whatever her task is.
Okay. Excuse me, ma'am.
And she says, yeah, and she like, you know, her hair's kind of up in like a messy bun with like a pencil through it, and she's got spectacles, and she will take them off and look at you, and then she will like put down, she actually did have like a little book, and you look at it and you can see there's checks in there.
It's a checklist.
It's not like on a clipboard or like a scroll, but it's a checklist.
Is everything okay? You seem rather flustered while everyone else is rosy-cheeked and sloshed.
And she says, well, if that's not the truth of it, then I don't know what is. Well, there's a lot going on. This is a quite important festival. It has a lot of meaning, and there's a lot of magic about it, and everyone seems to think it's just a party. But I know that there's true meaning to what is to be done here tomorrow, and it just worries me that we've grown so complacent. This ritual was done to help not only protect our livelihood and the horses that we breed, but also to banish out evil shadow magic. And I feel that while everyone thinks about, oh, it's great for horses and it's fun and all of this, that they forgot about that
Why
part.
is she casting so much shade?
But she's like, I don't like this one.
Ah, yeah, you forgot.
She's like, this one is
Yeah, he says that.
blue and strange and kind of insensitive.
Yeah,
But anyway.
die.
And she's like, but it's been a long time since anyone has seen or heard of any incursions from the Shadowfell, and I fear that in our complacency, perhaps this may be the time, the year in which they strike. And I am worried that no one else here takes this seriously, and they just think that I'm some sort of book nerd who just has my nose stuck in a book and is too obsessed with organization and also books that no one takes me seriously. And you know, I'd love to be like, haha, you'll all be laughing when I'm right, but then we'll most likely be dead.
Better to be wrong than dead.
Do you need help with anything?
And she's like, it's funny that you should ask. Yes,
Cool.
I do. I could use the help of 4 individuals such as yourselves. That would be perfect.
Cool.
And she says, so tomorrow is the main event,
Yes.
and part of the whole process is this coronation, or it's a parade, basically, about the city, where people wear the garb that matches the kind of ancestral garb, and parade around the city. And sadly, we are short people to be a part of that. And she says, going along with what I said, we are actually down people to participate in both the procession that leads up to the race and the race itself. 4 people down, in fact.
Two questions, ma'am.
Yes.
Number 1. So we heard that last year's winner
Yes.
runs with a thing, a stick, or a
scepter. Yes.
Yeah. We're not gonna be here next year, so does that disqualify us from running?
No, perhaps you'll come back. You never know.
But what if we...
Wait. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Do we just
you.
keep the rod? Do you guys keep it here?
that's actually a good question.
All right, Ben. Thank you. I will mark that down. Thank you, sir. Everybody has a luck. And I will get you your report well in advance of your deadline, so no worries on the playtest. I'll get you that info later.
Cool.
So,
Like to
but we
insight
asked
our
somebody...
answers.
Okay.
Yeah, does she seem like she's gonna want to sacrifice us to the shadows?
you guys can make insight checks.
I don't want to get sent to the shadows.
So I got a 9 and a natural 1.
Hey!
20.
Finally!
Ooh, nice.
Oh, but I was
That's
at
the one.
disadvantage.
But
20
still nice.
plus.
Still, I got a 20.
I mean, my difference is way bigger than that.
Okay. 18, 21? Or
No, I said I had 18.
Oh, you had 18?
25.
Oh, I had not good.
Not good.
5.
That's
I
bad.
rolled a 9.
Okay.
25.
So you two, you don't get the feeling that it is that she's she's not gonna banish you to the shadow realm.
Like nothing nefarious is
If
going
you
on.
fail this, if you duel her, you will not get banished to the shadow realm.
Another
Good.
dude said that we weren't supposed to do stuff because we're not elves. And
Because it's been millennia, so I was worried about that.
And yes, it's quite puzzling.
So me and Oz make meaningful eye contact, and we're like,
And she says, well, there's a lot of alcohol flowing, so people say things and maybe they don't know exactly what they're saying. And I know for a fact that the race consists of 9 racers, the previous champion, and then 8 newcomers. We have 4 newcomers and the champion, and we need 4 new racers. And you 4 look like you would be up for a challenge.
do you like
And while you would not only be competing for glory and an ancient elven ritual to help protect this town from one, to provide us with the strong bloodlines of the horses that we need, and to help protect us from future incursions from the Shadowfell.
alright, I can do it on one condition.
She says, yes.
I get to wear my armor.
She says, that's fine.
Alright, I'm in.
I told you, it's half steeplechase, and well, I'll tell you now, it can get a little rough and tumble at times. No one dies, though, so keep that in mind.
All right.
Whatever
Oh,
capabilities
good.
you have.
Cool.
Well, I'm also telling you, don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't just go around killing people.
She says, well, that's good. Insight check.
Oh.
We don't just, I mean, people attack us.
That's true.
We don't go around. We're not just like, oh, hey, look at that guy murdered.
No, we do not.
We've never
do
done that.
We agree.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the parade, and then there's the race, and that's the magic bit.
The magic bit is the carrying of the torch to the 9 locations.
That's-
The course runs that track.
Okay.
So it's rather than a true traditional elven procession where like, and we go and we chant and we scepter goes to location 1 and then 2. Over time, it's been changed and altered to try and make it more interesting in a way for the town to have fun with it, and it's kind of turned into a race.
Okay.
So the core still happens of the scepter making it to the 9 locations, but now it's it's more of a party and everybody watches a race and it has its own fun. And I would be lying if I didn't say that people bet on the race.
I appreciate not lying. I'm gonna make an Arcana check to see if that would contain like any magical power.
Sure.
Thank you. I am doing pretty well at disadvantage today. Would you say 4 plus? I have 24.
And yeah, you think that you're not familiar with this is ancient elven magic, but this isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
You know that, on a smaller scale, spells like Magic Circle and Circle of Power and things like that can do similar things to keep things in or hedge things out, and this may just be a version of that in a much larger scale.
Okay.
With, this scepter may be the material component needed for this.
Alright. Yeah, this could be legit. I mean, I guess.
What up?
Yeah.
With your insight check, and you're looking before at her checklist, you see, or her book, rather, that has a checklist in it.
Yeah.
You can see that it is a book, but it is the checks are actually on a sheaf of parchment in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And on the inside, as the book is open, right? So she's got the book like this, and she's checking. And you can see that on this page, and you can obviously see there's writing under there, that this seems to be spells. As though this is a spell book that she is using as something to write on.
Okay.
But it seems to be a spell book with magic some magic that coincides with what you know.
Alright.
What kind of magic is the book?
All manner of magic.
Oh.
Is there anything else magical on her or aura or...
She's magic, as though she has the ability to cast magical spells, which makes sense with the book.
Right.
And she says, "So, what do you say? Will you help us with this ritual?"
We would love to, if you wouldn't mind helping us with something.
She says, "All right.
After the festival.
What can I help you with?"
Just help us find someone, or if you can do it yourself. We have a ship a couple hours down the coast that has sustained some pretty substantial damage. So we either need the help of a carpenter or someone with some kind of magic that can shape wood or create what we need. We need help.
More than
No, okay.
It's a 15-foot round hole.
Alright.
As you remember
Oh,
from
yeah.
having been there.
Yeah.
Listen, I got knocked unconscious a lot. My hands
She
are
doesn't know a lot
fuzzy.
about mending.
I don't know
but,
about
I mean,
movement.
I can mend. You've seen me mend.
It's true.
Have I?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
If that was it, I would have done it. So yeah, if you
know
could
there's
help
more
us,
powerful
I mean, if
version
there's
of
someone
it.
in town, I don't know. If there's someone who might be able to help us, just put in a good word, point us in that direction.
She says, "Well, what do you? So you say your ship is damaged. What do you need? What?"
Rick, what's the list?
We need about 15 boards that are about 20 feet long, about a foot wide.
And she says, "This is if we were to find the required amount of lumber that you need, this could be something that I could be able to assist you with.
Thank
I
you.
could transform this into what you need."
There's actually a gigantic down tree right by where it went.
She says, "Well, if that is enough, then I'll do my best to provide what you need."
Fantastic. What was your name, ma'am?
My name is Jana.
Gemma?
Jana.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Rick. This is my good friend Osmond.
Not Osmond.
Osmond.
It's Oz.
What?
It's short for Osborne.
Osborne. Sorry, my apologies.
You were born.
And she says, "So you're new companions, just traveling together for a little while."
No! He knew my
This
dad!
is John Smith.
That is not his name either!
It was.
Are you doing a bit?
And that's Brina.
That is Brina.
That was,
Oh, this is
that was
Dad
my
Cooper.
name, man.
That's
She's like, that was
Cooper.
one of my. That is a strange
Cooper.
creature.
Yeah, he fell on my board one day. I don't really know where it came from.
What?
The whole dimension
More
kind of
creatures.
was like, "Ah!" Blah. And then he died, and then he emerged from my back.
Anyway,
You shouldn't open with that, Brina.
But it's
She's
fine.
like,
It's
well,
quite a sight to see.
beggars can't be choosers.
Oh.
hello, Internet.
Alright, we will meet you back here. What time should we... Where and when should we meet you tomorrow for this whole thing?
She says, and she'll kind of point off to like a house not too far away, and she says, you can meet me there in the morning, and we can get you all trussed up in the ceremonial gear that you require for the...
And do you know of a place we could stay? Is there like an inn or something?
And she'll gesture over to, and she says, honestly, at this point, you could probably stay anywhere. Everybody is very deep in their cups. But no, there's an inn that you could stay at over there.
Cool.
Alright.
Awesome. We'll see you in the morning.
And she says, well, I look forward to it. Rest well, party as you wish, but be prepared for a rousing race in the morning.
Alright.
Rousing race in the morning.
Okay.
Alright, Jenna. Farewell.
Alright, and then we walk away. Cool. I don't think we're gonna get human sacrificed.
I have a positive vibe.
I'm also still tired from our ordeal, so I'm gonna eat food until I feel like I want to throw up, and then go to bed.
Alright.
I know it's just after lunch, but I'm a halfling, and that's what we like to do.
That's fine if that's
You
what
want
you
another
want to do.
friend?
I would love
I'm
one, Brina.
also very tired.
Sure, bring Ted Cooper. We'll get as much. Can he eat chicken?
We're doing
Is
the
that
buddy system,
cannibalism?
right? That's
I
the
can't
thing.
tell.
No, he's not a chicken.
Alright, so we should
I don't
go
think he's
with
a
that.
chicken.
Okay,
There's too many scales to be a chicken.
let's go. He also has too many feathers not to be a chicken.
Valid.
You don't think they're selling it?
So let's- yeah.
Now, right?
Come on.
I'm trying to figure it out
I'll
I'm
probably
an
not
entity.
one until after.
You wanna see if people will believe that I'm a child?
No.
What?
No, you have beard.
too much. You do have a beard.
You do have, and I quote, Jake Scruff.
I do have Jake's Scruff. Yeah, but yeah, good point.
You gonna shave it?
No, I
Nah.
don't care that much.
You so
Oh, they're drunk.
meticulously
Let's see
made.
what happens.
I'm gonna come with you because we agreed on the buddy system.
Oh yeah. Once
Did you
I'm.
guys have anything you wanted to do?
We were gonna go buy some horses.
Oh, okay. Actually, at this point,
Good
I mean, I feel comfortable with 2 teams of 2. If you guys do.
It seems like exactly what we were talking about not doing.
Okay, so let's go buy horses, and then we'll get food, and then we'll chill.
Okay.
Well, we can get snacks. We can get food.
Why don't
as
we
go.
get
It's free food. We can just
but
grab it.
not enough to throw up. Buy horses, have more food, throw up. Good.
I like it.
Sounds good.
This is why we refer to you,
We
Rick.
have
In the party fund.
in the party fund. We have 658 gold pieces, 3 silver pieces, and 4 gems worth 200. But I did throw down the rule about no selling gems.
Yes.
So we only have the 600 gold to go with.
Alright.
But like Brina and I are pretty small, and we don't weigh much. So I feel like if we get 2 horses, that might be enough.
Well, I can't ride a horse.
Then why are we going to buy horses?
Well, for you guys.
So we're gonna ride horses, and you're gonna walk next to us?
I want a horse, dude.
Do you feel anything in that suit?
Yeah, I have emotions and stuff.
No, I mean like this. Like can we just tie you and drag you along behind us?
Deep shame.
Alright, husband.
It's not my name, and you know that at this point, Uncle the Brick.
Oh, Uncle Rick.
No, Uncle the Brick.
I would
Rick.
get stuck in the ground if you tried to drag me
What if we
behind.
get like a wooden plank and stick it to it? and then
No,
drag
it's okay.
that?
I'll just walk.
Can you? But what if the horses run? Can you
Then
move that quickly?
no.
Exactly.
Then you're gonna just have to wait for me. Why are you complaining about having the option of riding a horse instead of walking?
'Cause it
See those
seems
horses,
silly.
Dad?
Yeah. What?
That'd be really cool to like have, you know.
But are they worth the
See how
party
cool that
fund?
horse is.
Let's find out how much
Dude,
horses
I never
are
said
in
anything
general
about the
first.
party fund.
Let's
my,
see.
my
Let's
dude.
just find out. Let's go get food. We'll check out the horses, see if it's worth it. If not, get more food and go to sleep.
It's a beautiful horse.
Something to do.
Look at it.
Food.
Alright.
These horses are nice.
Yeah, they are, but I mean, we're going on a ship, and then we're going to a place where a black dragon attacked, and not all of us are going to have horses. I just feel like at this point, it's kind of silly. Oh! Yeah, why didn't you just say that? Come on, let's go.
Alright. Cool.
You eat. Why do you vocalize when you eat?
I think it's just because she takes such large bites.
Yeah, but you
Makes
still
the
can...
food taste.
It's got a sinus thing going on.
Don't we all?
It's
No,
very,
Let's go, let's go!
it's very cool.
Let's do it!
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Doing it.
So, you guys are going off to try and purchase a horses. Is that what you're looking for here?
Wave wants a horse. Osmond wants a
Bye.
pony.
Dang nabbit, he this horse.
So I can ride it hard and put it up wet, man.
I don't want a pony.
You want a miniature horse?
I don't.
They're assholes. Fun fact.
So are ponies.
You have a lot of interaction with miniature horses.
I did. My sister used to take horseback riding lessons, and at the farm they had miniature horses, and they were assholes.
Interesting.
There was one goat who was also an asshole.
I have a story about a goat boner. It's pretty funny.
I love this story.
What a...
It's a great story.
Oh?
How old were you when this story happened?
Fair. I was like,
Oh, I think you told me the story.
I'm pretty sure you told me this story too.
might have. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
Now we cut to a scene of him sitting by a fire in a big chair, and it's story time with John. And then we cut back to the end.
Nah, I think we should just leave the internet hanging.
Ah!
That's
Just like that goat stick.
Just like the goat boner.
Okay, so you guys are going to attempt to purchase horses. And you can see that people are kind of about and they're busy because they're drunk and they're enjoying the party. But yeah, they're like, oh, you want to buy horses? Sure, that's a thing we could do, but probably not till like after tomorrow, just to be safe.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright, so we will...
Yes, it is.
It's just general revelry going on.
For the most part, yeah.
Alright, let's go to the inn and secure some rooms.
Alright.
Okay, so you go
To the inn.
to the inn.
What's the name of the inn?
The Stag, which is weird because this is a place full of horses.
Fair.
Maybe it's talking about how one walks around in there. You gotta stagger.
Then wouldn't it be called a stagger?
No.
Excellent point.
Maybe
Let's keep
when
going.
you go in, you have to go stag.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just the name of a place.
That do.
I opened the door for you guys.
Oh, thanks, Frick.
Okay, you guys go in and you're looking to
Or I
secure
think
rooms
it's
as well as what else?
Just
Little
rooms.
scholar.
Okay, you
We
guys are.
can just go outside and get food and drink.
That's fair.
Oh, I did. It's great. It's good food.
You
It's
can
great. You
get
just grab as much as you want.
rooms for 3 silver pieces a night.
Alright,
Cool. How are we doing this?
Do you have 4 rooms available?
And they're like, totally.
Totally.
Cool.
12 silver.
Okay.
1
Yes.
gold, 2 silver.
Are pets allowed?
And they're like, sure.
Cool.
sure.
So you guys are able to get each have your own room.
Oh yeah, living in style.
How much for a bath?
And they're like, I don't know, how much do you think your bath is worth?
6 silver?
Sure.
That's so terribly overpriced.
For bath water that you haven't already used, it is appropriately priced.
One.
Alright, I'm gonna eat a bunch and then take a bath, and then I'm gonna bring in some kind of dessert to the bath, because winning, and then I'm going to bed.
What time of day is it right now?
At this point now, it's probably mid-afternoon, evening-ish, we'll say. You guys walked around town a little bit.
Cool.
So,
Alright.
I eat.
okay, you went to bed.
Wander around.
Going to bed.
You're wandering around. What about you two?
Observe.
We're just slowly drink the evening away.
I was thinking about it, yeah.
Nice and slow, kind of not be drunk. And then just watch and see what goes on in the town.
I'm also gonna have an
chicks
owl
around.
watch over me while I sleep and cook very loudly if anyone tries to sneak in. Those
Makes
are his
sense.
orders.
I go back to the rosy cheeked lady that we met before.
Okay.
Be like, hey, I'll trade you for some wine.
And she's just like, wine's free, but sure.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I mean, cheers.
And you guys are just drinking. She will.
Yeah, we're just outside the inn.
Well, I mean, last
just
majority of
hanging out quietly together.
Looking for these elven chicks, man. They got nice horses.
So is that what Wade was trying to do? Is trying to get laid? Is that?
And this one too.
I'm trying to get Rick laid.
Be a good wingman, but not forget about myself.
Ah.
Do this, they're gonna take a pee-pee.
Alright.
I didn't fall.
Would I question?
Yeah.
While we're about, would I have a tattooer's kit, or am I just proficient in it? I don't know if it can.
Sure, we'll say you have one.
Okay. What about brewers?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Then never mind. Good.
Okay.
Because I was gonna try to find a place.
Yeah,
that
sure.
I could get them, but
As you guys are drinking outside the inn, eventually as the night goes on, Jana will come back to you.
Alright.
And she will tell you that she's even more worried now. I just heard news that there is supposedly a new ambassador who has arrived. An elven ambassador from Tortel, and I don't believe that she's actually an ambassador.
Alright.
Whispered, she said, I believe she may be from the Shadowfell and here to potentially stop the race from completing. And if that were to happen, then the protection would fail wholly and we would be able to run rampant through the city.
from the Shadowfell, would we be able to detect magic on her?
And she says,
Or would everybody be?
yeah, she says, do any of you have the ability to cast something along the lines of detect evil and good?
No. Just protects you from it.
And she says that unfortunately we do not have any way to discern that she is indeed from the Shadowfell or a fey creature of some kind.
Well, we could, you could point us in her direction, and then at least we would know what she looks like. Maybe we could
Get a read on her.
suss her out, you know, be able to tell.
And she will say,
And if not, at least we know what she looks like, so we can keep an eye out for her tomorrow.
she says, yes, I'd rather not, if she is indeed a member of the Shadowfell, I would not wish to draw too much attention to them now.
Right.
For fear of her stealing or trying to spirit away the
Scepter.
scepter.
Makes sense.
But also, she says, I'm aware that I can get a bit paranoid at times, and I don't want to go causing some great ruckus to an ambassador if there's nothing to be worried about.
Alright. Well, just point her out. We'll just keep an eye on her then. So
Okay.
where do you guys keep the scepter so that we can make sure we'll just hang out around there?
Okay. She will tell you that she says she has heard that there's an arrival of an ambassador, but she has not. She hasn't seen her yet.
Alright.
So if you hear anything or see anyone mentioning an ambassador from Tortal,
It's very strange that the ambassador has not made himself known publicly.
She says, perhaps you are not wrong.
Alright, let's go do it. Let's have a nice little stroll.
Okay. So you guys stroll about and you're just on the lookout. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So guys, go ahead and make me perception checks. Stroll about.
Natural 20 plus the 4 for guidance.
So what are you guys doing?
11. We're
So
looking for the ambassador.
31.
Okay.
11.
11. You're good. It's hard to pick out an ambassador in a crowd when you don't know anything about him. So you're looking around. You do see several very attractive elven ladies. that are in varying degrees of drunk.
Oh, are you the ambassador? I would say.
And one of them will just be like, nope.
Ah, sorry, that was my pickup line.
And she's like,
Hoop.
choice.
try harder.
Didn't work. I have a better idea. I'll go up to one of the other attractive old women.
Yes.
Excuse me, we're new in town. We were wondering if you guys had like a mayor.
Mayor. Alright, and she...
Mayor.
I'm sorry, he's drunk.
Alright, well, I'm not there.
And she's, and she says, we did at a time have a royal family who oversaw this many, many centuries ago. She says, now things are more or less governed. Trade is more of the governance here than anything else.
Okay. Alright, wonderful. Yeah, we just heard that this ambassador was in from Tortel, and we have some friends who were looking to do some research there, so we were hoping to maybe talk to them. Maybe they're at the inn. We'll go check there.
And she says, well, I hope you have luck on your search.
Thank you very much.
You're really hot.
Oh my god.
And she's just like, and she walks away.
Why are you like this?
What?
And I walk away.
So it's a big partying festival right now. Like, are there any like
So
street games or like
There's,
arts
like-
and crafts demonstrations?
There's
Like,
there's like little
Something
arts and
interesting.
crafts type stations where people
some
are.
people just want to walk around and like talk to people and like, you know, get to know the town.
Sure. Yeah,
There's a
no.
glassblower place. Like my family did that, so like I could chat with them for a while. There's a campfire, talk about stories.
Yeah. There's a little bit of all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so you are able to
Going and making friends.
enumerate yourself to the town, and people are drunk and having a good time, and you're able to there's different kinds of like carnival type games, like ring toss type stuff, and win a goldfish in a bowl, but not really because this is way too cold for goldfish to survive. But you get the point. That
Yeah.
kind of things.
I'll do that tennis.
Win a snow globe.
Sure. Let's say
I
there's
like, I don't know.
snow globes here.
You could win a snow globe.
You could win a snow globe, yeah. For the snow globe is like the wine bottle ring toss.
Ooh.
Totally do
Those
that.
are very tricky.
You gonna do it? Alright.
Alright. How many are you gonna do?
How much
many
is it
rings?
for a ring?
So it's like I don't know. It's like we'll call it like a silver piece for 10 rings.
Cool. One silver piece.
Okay, and you're given 10 red rings to throw onto these wine bottles. You can go ahead and make me a dexterity check.
2.
You're not there.
Oh.
I'm still at
That's right.
disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
11?
Ding, 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 and it kind of falls in the middle between the rings.
18?
And it and it falls off.
22.
And it sits on there, and it's like falls off.
So that's 30.
Mm-hmm.
23.
This one kind of sits on one and flops over and almost lands, and then it falls.
27.
Wow.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, deuce 19s.
This one, and it hits one and it kind of lands on its edge and it rolls, and it almost goes in between the gap between two, and it tinks off one and then it down the thing.
She got it. I have my Tad Cooper.
There.
Yeah.
High five! High five! High five me!
It's so far away.
No.
Yeah. So they give you a selection of snow
We
globes
just heard her.
Yeah.
to choose from. And there's ones with different kinds of horses inside, and one is just like a horse, and one's like a group of running horses, and some of them is just like the forest and like the city. That's two different options for snow globes.
They're all nice.
I'm gonna take one with a horse in it.
Okay, one singular horse or like a running
The
stage?
one singular.
One singular horse.
And I'm gonna find them.
You still have 3 rings.
Oh, I'm gonna continue throwing.
Yeah.
Now that I know where the mark is. 24?
Just barely.
Last one.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you got it.
I got one. I'm gonna go find them.
You can see Rick walking away from Wave.
Hey, Wave! Hey, Wave!
What?
I know you want a horse, so in case we can't get a horse, here's a horse!
Oh, it's so cool.
There's a little snow globe with a horse inside it.
I'll make the.
It's water, the water's in it.
globe.
Yeah.
Water to push
Yeah.
around it. That's nice. Oh wait, you gave it to me. Shoot.
Jesus,
Oh my
dude.
goodness, Pat.
You seem a little inebriated. You want me to hold on to it for you till the morning?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I got it.
Okay. You have fun tonight, buddy.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go back into the festival and have fun.
Okay.
I go to the inn and I ask the innkeeper if anybody else has signed in after us.
And he says no one has come in after.
Ah, darn. Heard there were some elves coming in from Tortel, and I was excited to get some news from that region.
And he says, yeah, I've heard rumors. Something moon water. I don't know.
Alright, something. Alright, cool. I'll take do you guys have just like beer?
They're like, what kind of beer?
Old Light.
And they're like, of course.
Of course. Here. Elvish wine is nice, but sometimes it's good to have something a little less sweet.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tip him a gold.
Alright.
Something with water.
Yeah. You tip him a gold and he says, Marquis Moonwater
Marquis.
is the name I've heard for this ambassador.
Alright. Thank you very much.
And he's like, well, thank you.
Striking up conversation with people around the town. Can I find out anything about like the particulars of the race?
Sure.
Like,
You can find out that there is basically the parade happens around the town, and that's known as the Corretto. That's the procession and the parade part of it. And then at one point, and then after that ends, basically you make your way to the center of the city and kind of the starting point. And then just kind of the central plaza, and then there's the union ritual, which is basically a blessing that's supposed to link rider and mount, and then the master of horses will go through the rules of the race.
It's a horse race.
Yes.
Oh, gee. Okay.
I'm gonna go wake Oz up because we're in the middle of investigating stuff. Hey, wake up.
What?
And it's just a giant horse race that goes around the town?
I need your help.
Okay.
What?
Are there any like obstacles or like things that we have to do?
Oh,
Yeah,
and they
Jenna.
will
As
basically,
we
yeah,
go?
there will be.
Yes, you do.
Is it different each year?
Think about
Yes.
it. Here, have this.
Anybody got any leads on what we might be up against?
It's fine.
this year?
It's cold.
Or what might happen in the race this year? Not to be
Yeah,
in the
have
dark in
this.
the
It's
race.
a pastry.
No, they
now wake
don't
up.
provide any. You don't get any extra
Jenna?
information
Yeah, Jenna.
because people
Okay.
are mostly
I thought that there was,
excited.
I'm
I'm
to
gonna explain everything
experience it for the
thus
first
far.
time.
Cool.
Including Wave's terrible passes at women.
And
that sounds
we're just
bad.
gonna make friends
We need to
around
find
town.
this marquee moonwater lady.
Alright, let's go. Almost
Pretty much
happened.
anything.
It did not even.
It was
almost happen.
close.
And you,
And you almost got smacked across the face.
What?
Anyway,
You're not there.
you're not here.
Yeah, like talk to people more about like the,
So we gotta
the
find this
legend behind
marquee
this whole
water.
festival. And,
Wait,
like,
remind me again, why?
most
I was
people
in
are
the
like,
Oh.
it's fine.
It's
Because
like,
Jenna
Thinks
that this
It's
lady
great.
is a fake ambassador from Tortel and is actually one of the people from the Shadowfell?
have you had
Shadowfell.
any experience with the Shadowfell?
And they're like,
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
dude.
I'm just wondering. Is it like a spooky ghost story? Like some people have like weird
cool.
like tales of
Hopefully
something.
at least put eyes on her tonight.
And they're
That way
like,
we can keep an eye on her later.
the
let's
guy
go.
you talk to is like, no, I have not.
Okay, just wondering. Just trying to be
Let's get the
tricky.
team together
That's
next.
fair. It would be bad.
That says it's a bad place.
It is a
Bad
bad place.
things happen there. There's all
That's
sorts
true.
of weird shadow demons, and sometimes they say there's that's where death comes from.
Whoa,
like
grim.
Get the Reaper even.
Oh.
Yeah, the one or the
The
several.
one.
There's
Yeah,
actually
but-
supposed to be multiple
Interesting.
deaths that they all come from there. They live there.
Well, I mean, you could die in anyway,
It's
so
bad,
maybe
bad
that's death
times.
is
Just
different
don't go there. They say a lot of bad things have started there. Yeah.
Here, have some of this drink. Light
And they're like, okay. And they take it and they're like, this is pretty good. You should sell this.
Oh, cool. I'll take note of that. Joy Festival, people.
Brina, are you upsetting the locals?
No.
Brina, are you getting drunk again? That sounds like a
I'll learn
yes.
about the town. I'll make new
Alright,
friends.
Hey, remember when we did the pinky promise thing? We're gonna do another one in 1 minute. Okay, first I'm gonna explain to you what we're gonna pinky promise about being quiet about, but then we're gonna do that, okay?
Okay.
Alright. I look around, there's nobody eavesdropping on us.
That's what you see.
Oh, look, Wave, come here. Yeah. Alright, so there's this lady
Oh yeah, this is about.
who may or may not be an ambassador from Tortel. It wasn't gonna work.
Okay.
Her name is Marquis Moonwater. We gotta find her tonight so that way we can keep an eye on her during the festival tomorrow.
Would you say her last name is Water?
Moonwater.
Wait, what is she trying to do?
She may be from the Shadowfell trying to disrupt the festival, maybe steal the scepter. You can't steal the scepter.
But it would be safe. Like National Treasure. We'll steal it so they can't steal it.
It's a great idea, actually.
Is this rod magical?
Who are you asking?
I don't know.
I mean, after
Where are you looking? This is why you shouldn't drink.
Around. I'm just looking around.
Is this wrong?
You guys, do you think it's magical?
And then one guy
Do you
is
think
just
he'll
like,
give you-
this rod's. Oh, you're a child.
He's a child, don't do it.
Yeah.
Gross.
But he looks to the three of you and he's like, but it is magical, fellas. Yeah.
No, thanks.
Yeah?
So
Yeah.
is this flail?
And he's like,
Whoa.
he's
Sorry,
like,
sorry, I'm a little drunk.
he's like, why are you like this?
He's not wrong. It's a magic flower. How magic is your rod?
And he says, are you looking to find out?
What are you talking about?
Detect
Be
magic.
cool. Be cool.
I don't
Is
know.
it magical?
Fucker.
You can't see it, so you wouldn't know.
That's true.
You have to have
What
physical
rod are
eyes
you
on it.
talking about?
Well,
She's
Ah.
gesturing.
No. Well,
And he'll
we'll
give
talk
you
about
like
this
a goblet of
in
wine.
6 to 15 years.
I might come back later, bruh.
And he's like, all right. He's like, I'll be looking for you.
Do. I think I did, and I might be kind of into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You, Will.
I do.
But we're doing a job. If we were doing a job, I would have tried it.
Well,
He's very pretty. He's an elf.
yeah, I don't care.
All right, let's find this lady, and maybe I'll change my mind. Come on, let's go. All right.
And
But we know she's a lady, right?
Yeah.
All right, and we know her name is Marquis Moonwater.
Correct.
Excuse
we
me.
don't know anything
Yep.
else, what she looks like, or anything.
Okay,
I stopped drinking for the evening. Keep a clear head about
that's
myself.
a good idea.
I've only been drinking occasionally to make friends.
How do you want to tackle this
Really,
team?
way too young to do that.
I've mainly been handing
Here
it
are
to
my
people.
ideas.
Okay.
Going around and subtly dropping the name Marquis Moonwater to see if anyone goes, someone say my name. Or going around and saying
Marky
that
water.
No,
I'm still on part 2.
we have not done.
Oh my
Did
god.
anybody look?
Shut.
Okay.
You know, I could just control water right here and just.
Art crawl.
Alright.
Just
Part
have it
two.
ready to
Alright,
use.
Part 2.
Part two.
We go around claiming that we did a random raffle for the whole festival and that Marquis Moonwater won 1 gem worth 200 gold. Get her to come to us.
That was a
Technically,
good
we're not
idea.
selling it.
I was thinking we could walk around together and ask if anybody has any news from Tortel.
That's a better idea than both my ideas.
And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, well, I don't personally, but Marquis Moonwater just got me like, oh, could you point her out? Except somebody else should do that lying, because I'm no good at it.
I don't think any of
I'm
us
not
are
great at it.
lying.
I'm the worst
Wait, what's good?
at lying.
Wait.
Terrible.
You're better than me.
I'm good at being
True.
sneaky.
That's something.
I got at least a +2.
I have a -1.
Just
Maximum
sneak on the outside
+5.
of conversations. Listen in.
Alright,
I hear
I have
you.
an idea on how we won't be lying.
I mean, we could actually get news from Tortel.
I mean, if we're asking if there's news from Taratel, we're not technically lying.
No, but if someone asks why we want to know, like why news from Tortown, I might have an answer. But let's not worry about it later. Let's go. Let's go ask people.
All right.
Let's go to that thing over there. Woo!
All right.
And we go over there.
To that thing.
To that thing.
I'll say that at this point it's about like 7, 8 p.m.
All right. It's getting dark.
It's getting kind of late, guys.
Did you get your full rest?
No.
Figured it out.
Yeah, it's magnet. Just pop it off. Yeah, we go over there.
Okay.
There are people over there?
Sure. There's people about.
Hey, excuse me, guys. I don't have news from Tortown. We've been out of the loop for a while. Adventuring.
And they're like, a couple of them think for a little while and they're like, no, I heard it's pretty good there though. No one ever really seems to have any issues. At least that's what I heard. People are like always happy and like nothing to worry about.
Sounds like a nice place.
Well, no, it was. I mean, I wanted more. Have you heard of anyone who's been there recently? It's more of like I have more specific questions than like, how's it going?
It's like, well, my cousin, he went there.
Is he here?
No, he didn't come back.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be pretty great. He's probably still there.
Fair. Well, thanks.
Let's
keep
go
asking.
over this way. real
Oh,
quick.
excuse me, I gotta go over there real quick.
Let's go talk to those other people.
Oh yeah, let's go over there.
Yeah.
Right, you guys can all make me. Well, let me rephrase. Who's doing the talking? Or is it a group effort?
Are we just going out and talking to random people separately?
You guys going as a
Or
group?
are we
Are you
going as a
splitting up
group?
into 4?
That way,
No,
I
don't split up.
my job will be to pull people out of the conversation.
Okay, so who's the talker? You?
Yeah.
You can make me a charisma check.
I don't think I can guide straight checks.
You can.
Ability check.
Ability check.
Dose.
Oh, motherfucker. Be lucky. I am.
Oh yeah.
You got that one lucky too.
That's the thing.
Natural 1, if it comes up.
A 6.
Try as you might to get information about Marquis Moonwater from, and has anybody heard news from Portal? You hear kind of the general things. Like, the general conception that you get just from everybody here is like, it's a large capital, the capital wood elven city of Evrand, and it's supposed to be massive and a sight to behold, and nature is integrated with magic and is integrated with everyday city life. It's apparently quite a unique place to go, but again, everybody's comments are more or less like, yeah, it's supposed to be like really great, like there's no issues there, like everything operates like clockwork. And yeah, you get the occasional thing like, oh, my mom went there years ago and yeah, she said it was great, and then like that you get more comments like, oh, I have a cousin who lives there, I haven't heard from him in a little while, but it's probably because things are so great and don't have anything really to report. Like up here, it's good, but like it's cold, and they're in a pretty temperate climate. Everything's good, so maybe they just want to make me feel bad. Like, oh, everything's great here. How's it going up in the north where it's cold and rainy all the time? And then I was just like, that's like true. Thanks for reminding me that you have a cooler house. And it's rough. So you get a lot of that kind of conversation.
Got there, buddy.
With your 6. So,
There.
Damn.
Well, I tried.
Well,
I'll say this takes like the better part of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Be asking around, just trying to like casually be like, "Hey, Tortel, yeah, no, okay, cool."
Yeah, no. Anyone? No. Yeah. No.
Walking around for a little while, and
Does anybody seem dressed out of place compared to everyone else?
no, it's basically this is an Elven festival, and like
So everybody's
everybody's in all
dressed
sorts of dressed up, kind of fancier or outlandish clothes.
Alright.
And there are people, you know, you can see that there are people dressed. Certain people are wearing different sigils. You notice basically 12 in your time. There are 12 different sigils. There is a female wolf, a giraffe, a shell, a porcupine, an eagle, a dragon, a snail, straw, a unicorn, scales, a ram, and a centaur.
Right.
And with some conversation and walking around, these basically separate the different wards kind of the city, you know. So they represent like the straws for like the harvest ward.
Right.
What is said city called?
Ah, I was wondering if that would come up because you guys have gone through many small towns that have had names and you just blow right through it and nothing happens. It is Trombei. Trombei. Print a new version of the map with all the towns you guys have been to, so you can see where everything's located.
Nice.
Concord and all that.
The
good stuff.
other ones.
The other ones, so Rufford and Stafford, and I think are the names. I gotta look back. And now.
Well, that didn't work.
Alright, well, let's go be well rested for the morning.
Yeah.
Sure.
What else we gonna
Grab
do?
some more food.
I mean, I was asleep and you woke me up, and now I'm kind of wired, but no, it's fine. It's there.
Have some of this cake.
Ooh, okay.
Here's a lot of
have
food,
cake. I have
and
cake.
no, here's a lot of desserts, and then go take a bath and go to bed.
I already took a bath.
Take another one. Just
My
for
hand-
this one's for you,
my s-
not for cleansing.
My skin will dry out.
Oh, well.
No, he's very delicate skin.
I'm so
What
little.
do you know about his skin?
I'm
What?
so little.
One time I took a bath in the water before he did, and he's like, "This would be bad for my skin."
Oh.
It was at the monastery. It was,
Okay.
It's not.
He's a delicate flower, I get it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, he's a delicate little flower.
I'm much older than you.
You can still be a delicate little flower, and she
Yeah.
didn't say like a
I didn't say anything
delicate
about your
young.
age.
No, I just meant that, like, respect your elders. You shouldn't talk about people who are older than you in that
Negative
connotation.
It's not negative.
There's nothing wrong with being
Delicate
sensitive.
little flower is
I
a
am a
beautiful
very sensitive
thing.
person, and it shows through my cooking.
When you both talk at me at the same time, I can't understand either of you. Which is, I'm not gonna say worse.
Are we back at the inn? Did we make our way back there?
You didn't say, did?
Oh, okay, so we're still on the street.
Let's make our way back to the inn.
You can make me a perception.
There's that one lady laughing maniacally.
Uh,
As lightning strikes behind her.
You guys are working your way back to the inn
Mhm.
after this conversation, and you see off to the side as you're making your way back. You do see the gentleman that you had seen earlier.
Okay.
I choked on some wine.
There, buddy.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll. What time? What time is it?
It is
said like
like
9,
it's,
right?
yeah, it's like 9 o'clock.
11, 8 hours of rest, 7 a.m. Yeah, I can do that. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Alright.
Where are you going?
I go to bed.
I'm gonna.
You're going to bed.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
was
you're
asking
tired.
where he was going.
That's not really any of your
I'm
business.
just curious. He can choose not to tell me. I'm just asking.
All right.
It's gonna jump all over the way, Petey. I might have to stop it momentarily to pop it back up. We're encoding issues. Anyway,
I go over him.
Okay, bye.
you guys leave and you go over to him.
Talk
And he's
about
like, hey, magic rod, wand, scepter guy. What did I ever...
Oh,
Yeah. What?
You don't
did he say?
leave.
I go over with.
What are you doing?
I'm going over with. I got detect magic.
So?
Oh, I see.
Situation.
And he's just like, why are you like this? Why is he like this?
I don't know. I have some. You wouldn't believe this shit. Let's go talk somewhere.
He's like, why don't we go talk
Let's
somewhere?
go talk somewhere.
Away from him.
Wait, yeah. I only have 2 hours though, so let's get
Let's do it.
You sure you don't need the?
Yes, I'm sure. Shit on a goddamn dick.
Don't do that.
I accept that. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so you go off with your gentleman friend. You guys go back to the inn.
What's his name? Don't care.
Okay, fair enough. I go to bed.
You guys go to bed, and we will wake up. Everybody sleeps. It's a long rest.
Oh, good.
In some cases, a longer rest.
Oh.
And then we'll join the party in the morning, and that will take a short break. I'm gonna try and fix the encoding issues on our end. On this, I bet you the video on YouTube will look fine, but Petey's saying that we're getting really choppy frames, which is likely due to. Let's see if I can add this. Can I do this while we're live? No.
Let's go. Strobe light. There it is.
Alright.
So she's losing interest at 150 speed.
So, we will be right back. Okay. We should be back. Petey, let us know how the stream quality is. I have to play around with the settings. This is the first time. No, actually, I streamed last night. Princess the Apocalypse with this encoding, and I had no issues.
Was that just one camera though?
Well, it's all web. It's browser sources, so I have to maybe adjust things a little bit. We'll see. Actually, Pat did buy his chair. It just isn't showing up till tomorrow.
Yeah.
His just was the longest one to get here. For whatever reason, blue was the longest lead time.
People like blue?
Yeah. So, welcome back, everyone. We will. Sorry for the brief drop in the stream there for a second. But those of you who are watching on YouTube will know because it'll be seamless. So, you guys wake up the next day.
Oh, good.
And you're ready to head out, I assume. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, basically, you guys are all... You'll have to represent one of the wards, basically. So you will be given tabards, but I'm going to make you choose at random rather than letting you pick. The only one you can't get is centaur, basically. So I will have you roll d12s. And we'll see what you come up with.
I wanted to be the porcupine.
Sean?
3.
Sean, you are the shell.
The what?
The shell.
The shell.
So it's like a
Like a conch or like a...
yeah, like a not a conch. The
Got it.
other one.
Clamshell?
Clamshell, that's what I was yeah, thank you. What you got?
7.
7. You're the snail.
Not a good time. For a race.
10.
10 is the scales.
Cool.
10, 7,
7.
4.
The porcupine.
Aha!
So that's the you each be
Scale,
out
like,
a set of scales.
Got it when I needed it.
got it. Cool.
Tried to be you guys, but
So you shall be representing the porcupine is the smith's ward.
Oh yeah, all makes sense.
works.
The snail is the caravan ward.
Slow and steady, man.
The scale is the market ward. And I really wish I had more info on this town from Kobold Press. I may have it and I'll look. Yours is the brawls.
The brawls.
Give me 1 sec. Let me save.
What was yours? Porcupine represents what?
The Smiths. I'm a Smith.
Makes sense.
He's a Smith.
And we're all Smith. Hey!
Hi.
Which
I'm Smith.
is
He's a Smith. She's a Smith. And we're all Smith.
snail.
Stupider.
The snail.
There's no way anyone can watch their own butt. Whoa. Your elbow is interfering with my dice configuration, dear?
What did you represent?
Did you just write? Why did you write in your notebook? We learn Oz is bicurious. Like, when is that going to come up in later games?
I like to write about
that
the
you
story
need to
and the
reference.
experience.
And the
I illustrate.
Does
everyone.
Brina learn that though?
Oh, yeah, Brina doesn't know.
Yeah, but this is for Selena.
Rick figured it out.
Yeah.
Because Rick's smart.
Yeah, he's worldly.
It took me old.
It took Wave a little.
It took Wave a lot.
Sorry, what the show represent?
The brawls.
Brawls.
The brawls.
The brawls.
The fucking fighting area. For
Okay.
brawling.
Kill you.
I don't know if those are all correct, but it's good enough.
That's what we're gonna say because unfortunately this playtest doesn't provide me with the information on what that actually means.
It's the
So,
seedy part of town.
let's say, yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's about right.
They
Okay.
talk about it.
So, that's what you guys are representing.
Cool.
So, you have your representative. I did not. What was it for? I missed. Oh, charge. Everybody has 1 charge.
Oh yeah.
So mark that down.
Thank you,
somewhere.
Petey.
I'm working on the tracker. I found out that the guys from Penny Arcade had their Twitch engineer build them a custom bot that does what I want to do.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna see if I can't figure out how to reverse engineer how to do that.
Yeah.
So everybody has 1 charge. A reminder: a charge can be spent for advantage, or can be built up.
How many charges do we need for it?
10 for an ultimate. We are also at $60, closer to that reliquary doing a thing.
Making a mess.
Something.
No, that's what we should call it. Making a mess.
It might not though. It might be very tidy.
Yeah, if it overflows or overcharges or overburdens or whatever.
Yeah,
It
overburden.
could make a mess. So we have 1 touch of luck and 1 charge for today, right?
Yes. All right. So, you basically are. So you guys have been outfitted with tabards that match all of your different wards that you represent, and you guys basically are. Let's see. I think I have text to read for you here.
I am the porcupine.
You are the porcupine, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are led to the front of a long line of performers and musicians for this procession. It's a spectacular pageant featuring flag jugglers and horn players, maidens throwing flower petals to the cheering crowds. It's a parade, right? It's a big deal. So you guys go down, and I will say that you'll get to see who the other racers are. Let's figure that out. So you guys will see one of the racers is a centaur.
Ah! Is he representing the centaurs?
Yes.
Ah, that makes sense.
So you have
Disadvantage.
oh yeah? That's how that works?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's an unfair advantage over us.
And then
We have to control a wild animal. He is part, well, like, one with it.
So?
Control.
So?
I don't know anything about riding horses.
and then there's nobody else. Like there's different mixtures of different people for the remaining people, but nobody that really jumps out. That's enough to really be like, that's clearly somebody that's got something unique going on with them.
All right.
So you guys are led down the street as part of your procession, and cheering crowds line the edges of this wide central plaza, as well as in the center of the city square, pressing eagerly against the rope barricades lining the track. The semicircular race course follows the curve of the plaza partway before entering the tight confines of the city itself. The racers on their horses gather between two waist-high rope lines as master of horse, which I really feel should be horses. General Stefano addresses those gathered from a high balcony. His speech is flowery and long-winded, and he makes a point to praise the newly arrived ambassador for attending the race. Finally, and you see that he gestures to the ambassador that is next to him on the balcony.
What does the ambassador look like?
He looking like a man.
Looks like a lady.
Look at a lady.
Who looks like a man?
Anyway, finally he reviews the rules of the race and reminds the racers there shall be no direct attacks either by blade or spell or otherwise against any other racer or mount on pain of immediate disqualification. Now, and you've heard that may not be the case, but now I call upon our defending champion to lead us in the bonding. So, and we'll just, for the ease of this, we'll make the centaur the champion.
Alright.
So, he would stand up in his saddle.
Oh, you should not.
Holding this golden baton over his head and in tones of prayer. As the champion recites a ritualistic speech about the bond between rider and horse, the golden baton begins to glow with a shimmering light. The crowd murmurs with expectant awe at the sight.
Aww.
You guys can all make me perception checks.
Not a disadvantage! Boom!
You guys.
24.
22.
21.
10.
Okay, we'll get to that. But now, you guys, as this would have happened beforehand, so we'll just retcon this. You guys get to pick your horses.
Oh, yeah.
You have horses beset towards you, and you each get to choose which one you'd like.
I'm gonna change my pants.
Okay?
Good move.
So basically, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 12 horses. So you can see, and I will give you the names of these horses, and you can decide what you want. There are no names, I'm sorry, the type of horse.
Alright.
So you have an Arbanus Starmare, a Black Bacanera, a Burgundian Destrier, a Caplian Quarter Horse, a Morgau Ghost Horse, a Racing Pony, a Riding Horse, a Roan Barbata, I'm just going to say Valerian because it makes more sense in my brain, White Mane, a War Horse, and a Zobek Courier. And they will gladly talk to you as much as you want about pros and cons or questions that you have about these horses.
Alright, I'm looking for one that's easier to handle, but still kind of fast.
Okay. But then they...
or maybe just that black one, depending.
Okay. Basically, the way this will work in the mechanics of the race is certain ones will have different benefits that will provide you bonuses or detriments on certain things you'll interact. So
All right.
basically, the fun part of this adventure, which we're going to get to, is you get to go on a horse race.
All
And
right.
we get to chase tables and the whole big thing.
Cool.
So, basically, the main, let's see, basically you have different, these are the categories that I'll give you, right? Agility, braking, endurance, like their ability to maintain control, jumping, and speed. Those are kind of your stats that you can kind of choose whether you'd like to have benefits, negatives, etc. in those, and you tell me which one, and I'll provide you what you need to know when you need to know it.
Alright. I want something with some agility and some endurance.
Okay, so they will tell you, and like the guy says it, and he's like not sure how to say it without seeming
Like a dick?
like a dick, but the riding pony is pretty good at agility, and endurance, but he'll also tell you so as the Zobek Courier.
I'll take the courier.
Okay, the Zobek Courier is gifted to, or is lent to Rick.
All right.
What's a ghost horse good at?
Did sound cool.
So they will tell you that it's very good at endurance. And they say they can be difficult to master, but they say that one who is truly one with the horse can tap into the horse's innate ability to go incorporeal.
What?
With its rider.
Yeah, that one, please.
Okay, the Morgau Ghost Horse goes to
What kind of horse?
Morgau. Morge.
Morg.
Ooh.
What were the different stats again? What are we looking at? Agility, endurance.
Agility, braking, endurance, fear / mental control, jumping, and speed.
What's break?
Stopping.
Stopping.
Oh, okay. Like,
Now,
hey, I'm talking
Yeah,
about horses. I'm not thinking like brakes in a car.
It's a race.
I'm gonna break a green.
They're karate horses.
What you
I'm
say?
gonna break a
Break
green
it.
horse.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where it's like flying, like kicking.
So anyway.
It looks so awkward.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting on you here.
Something that's relatively easy to control and is fast.
Okay, so
And it's kind of agile. Like it's not gonna kill itself if it goes too fast.
all right, so they're gonna give you the Valyrian White Mane.
Cool.
Is there an Arabian style horse?
I don't know what that means in the term of fantasy things. So what?
They're long distance racers.
So endurance,
Very fast.
Endurance and speed.
racing. I'm just kidding. The racing pony.
I contemplated the racing pony. It would fit me.
It would.
But one was called a ghost horse.
I saw you perk up at that.
Yeah. Ghost.
Like, yep.
Ghost horse? I don't know what that means.
They will tell you that the roan is pretty speedy, and they'll tell you that the black Bacanera has a pretty decent endurance and is good at jumping.
And what are their negatives of the two of them?
The agility, the black Bacanera is not the best,
Hmm.
and the roan is not the best at braking, but it's fast.
I'll take the road.
Okay. They would tell you that they would offer you the star mare, but chances are it wouldn't accept you as you're not elves.
Ah.
Fair.
But for you to prove yourself, potentially, they may change their mind.
All right.
They're fairly uppity horses.
Oh, wow. Nah, I'm good. I got
You
that.
have to like stare at them
Definitely
and bow like a
Arabian.
hippogriff.
So, okay. So you guys all have your horses now.
Dude.
All right.
As the scepter begins to glow, you all notice that the ambassador up on the shelf seems to slightly recoil behind the general giving the speech at the glowing of the scepter, and momentarily their skin turns gray. But the race begins.
Oh, I gotta go.
So, all right, the trumpeters sound their horns, and the rope in front of you drops. The horses leap into a gallop, hooves pounding the soil-covered cobblestones. As the race course curves around the edge of the plaza, you see the track between the rope lines of cheering citizens narrow as it cuts sharply to the left. So, before I get into the obstacle things that deal with it, let me provide to you the mechanics of how this race will go.
Alright.
So, basically, what'll happen is at each, let's see, 9 riders. There's 9 locations as we go through here. And basically, there's the phases of the race. So, at each locations, you act in 2 phases during a single round. The obstacle phase, which is you dealing with any obstacles or hazards that presents itself, and you make checks. You track the number of points. Your total result is to be above the DC. That number is the progress points earned for that location. For example, while jumping a horse over a barrier, you might be easily able to beat it with a 10, with a roll of a 15, and that gives you 5 progress points.
Okay.
Such a success at the obstacle phase also gives the rider the opportunity to take an action. A critical success, which would just be 20, right, grants 2 choices for the action stage. Failing an obstacle check means you must use an action phase to recover, urging your horse to increase speed to make up ground. Some obstacles will provide specific things when we get to it. Action phase, these are your actions. You can choose to do 1, again, or 2 if you manage to critical. You can push, encourage your mount to go faster. You can spend a bond point, which I'll tell you, your horses have different bond point mounts, to gain a +3 to your progress score. But it must make a constitution check at the end of the round, or it can't be pushed for 1d4 rounds. That makes sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Failure does not penalize progress, but it does waste the bond point. You can act. Take an action against another rider, such as an attack, a spell, or something else. You could soothe, spending 2 bond points to remove an ongoing condition that may be affecting your horse. Or get back half the penalty from a failed obstacle. Bless you.
Thank you.
Interact. Use the specific environmental elements found in this location to your advantage, pulling an awning down, something like that, to throw off other racers. Or, the last one we already discussed was recover. Only available to riders who have failed an obstacle check, requires 1 bond point to make an animal handling check of DC 10 to recover. So I don't think I need to describe the process of failing. Do you want me to read the example?
No, I think we'll be
okay.
We roll, we fail.
So the failed horses of Trombei begin the race with a number of bond points. These points reflect the linkage between the rider and the horse, the ritual you just underwent. A virtue prized by the people of Trombei. Bond points can be used to push, etc. But it doesn't look like you... offensive actions. During their action phase, PCs can attempt to impede other riders with items, spells, whatever. Melee or ranged weapon attacks on riders or horses is strictly forbidden. Spells, items, or abilities dealing physical damage and actively targeting other riders and horses such as fireball and so on are not allowed. On the other hand, spells, items, or abilities affecting the senses, emotions, or minds are completely acceptable. Damn. As are spells creating obstacles or hazards which might be avoided through skill and good horsemanship, such as entangle, grease, spike stones, whatever.
Sleep.
In the case of area of effect or obstacle spells like entangle, these enchantments must be cast in the potential path of the target, potentially getting your party, depending on how things are going.
Right.
Riders who use their action round to use a melee attack on another rider may do so as long as 2 riders are within 5 progress points of one another. Ranged attacks, etc. Obviously strictly forbidden, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
Spell ranges, we'll worry about that if it comes up. Breaking a tie, if it should befall the 2 racers across the finish line, whoever has the most bond points left at the end will be the winner. Falling off, if a rider is knocked off a horse, they are not out of the race since their mounts are trained to stop as soon as this occurs. But you do take -4 progress points if you're knocked off your horse.
All right.
Accidental attacks and cheating. The rules of the race are designed to cut down on injuries. Let's see. The only other major rules that racers must physically stay on the race course, relying on the natural power of their horses for speed. No skipping ahead with haste, teleportation, or anything like that. The judges expect a certain amount of injury and even death during the race. They know racers may inadvertently cause injuries. Basically, if you're going to try to attack somebody, be smart about it.
All right.
Okay, so your horses. You have the courier, Jake.
Yes.
You have 7 bond points.
All right.
Your horse has 18 HP and a 14 Constitution.
That's not bad.
When it comes to agility checks, you have advantage.
All right.
You have a +2 on endurance rolls, but a -2 on jumps.
All right.
Sean,
Yes.
you have 6 bond points, 14 HP, and 11 Constitution. And you have advantage on endurance checks. Nothing else. The ability to go incorporeal if you make checks, which is a DC 20 with animal handling check. But up to 3 rounds.
That could be super useful for
Yes. So Celine, you have the Valyrian White Mane. You have 9 bond points.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
You have 16 hit points, a 14 constitution.
Okay.
You have a +2 to agility, a -2 to breaking, a -2 to endurance, a -2 to fear,
Damn.
Oh, shit.
but a +2 to jumping and a +2 to speed.
Hold on. -2 to breaking, to endurance, and to fear.
Fear, but a +2 to jump and speed.
+2.
Pat, you have 8 bond points, 15 hit points, 12. I'm sorry, no, I'm reading the wrong one. You went the wrong. My bad. 7 bond points, 15 hit points, 13 constitution, +2 to agility, disadvantage on breaking, and advantage on speed. Okay? We'll see what happens. Advantage.
So much spood.
Spood.
Spoodiest.
So, you guys were coming around this turn, sharp left. So, this is an agility obstacle. The tight turn at the edge of the plaza marks the first obstacle in the course. Riders must succeed on a DC 10 animal handling check to successfully navigate the turn. Failure sends both horse and rider careening into the spectators, inflicting 1d8 damage on the rider.
Oof. And this is agility?
This is an agility obstacle.
Alright.
16.
Okay, so that's 6 progress points.
No.
What you get? You have a reroll.
I
of
have a
natural one?
reroll of a 1.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Much better.
DC was 10, so everybody above that,
Whammy.
so that's how many progress points you have. So it's 10, so 10 above that, yeah. And Sean, you,
I got a 15.
so you got a 5. Okay, so you all succeeded. You now have the opportunity to attempt an action if you so choose. Attempting something in full view of the crowd is risky. So, yeah. Basically, if you choose, so what would you guys like to do? If anything, taking an action here.
I would like to push
Okay.
my horse.
Okay.
What are all the push makes them go faster. Soothe. What does soothe do again?
Removes a negative effect. Oh no. What is this? Yeah.
Removes a negative effect.
Yeah.
Interact is use stuff outside of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Recover is
Animal handling check.
getting back from something bad, like you failed, right? You recovered points or something like that.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yes, if you fail an obstacle check.
And then act is to attack somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
So you chose to push.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and push.
So okay. So that will give you a +3. You spend a bond point, you get a +3 to your progress score, but you must make a Constitution check at the end of the round. So you don't have to make it yet, but you can make it now if you want.
Sure.
Nobody else tries to do.
I will also push.
Okay, go ahead. Same thing. 1 bond point.
No guidance on it.
No.
Okay. I got a
Okay, so you're good. And you have you use a bond point to do it, and you add +3 to your progress score. So
I'm
just
gonna
make
hold off for now.
some checks here.
Save it for later.
Okay, so
ahead.
okay.
How do we earn progress points?
Every time you succeed.
Oh yeah.
So you have
whatever
10
it is. Yeah.
currently.
Okay.
So we've got. Let's see here. Let me just make my checks here for the other people. They are not doing great. So you watch as the centaur, or no, I'm sorry, not the centaur. 2 of the other elves, just like their horses collide into each other, and they just, as they're going around the turn, they just impact. So they both fail their first obstacle.
Okay.
So, and then the other ones kind of make it by. The centaur is doing pretty good.
Right.
Managed to have a decent control over his own body.
Good for him.
All right. So you were pushing.
I was holding off. I was
Just
not
hold
doing
off.
anything.
Okay. All right. So nobody else tries to do anything, and we will continue on after that. So you guys have continued around this. past the base plaza. The speed of your passage seems to amplify as the race plunges into the narrow streets of the market ward. Hanging shop shingles flash past. Cheering children stand in doorways or on balconies, waving bouquets of flowers as you thunder towards a series of blossom-festooned crates stretched across the road. This is a jumping obstacle.
Oh, yeah.
There are crate hurdles in front of you. I need everybody to make a jumping check, please.
12.
12?
Yep.
DC is 10. It's a DC 10 animal handling check.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
15.
okay, then I'm fine.
15?
11.
11. 1 progress point.
Boom.
Also, actually, no, 12.
12, so 2.
22.
12 points. Jake had a what?
Well, I had 15.
Alright.
Yeah, makes sense. Could really give you a pretty solid boost.
Okay. Oh, damn. Alright.
Do you want to do it now or later? That was the question.
Alright. So the centaur keeps going. The other two who collided, you see, they've recovered now, and they have kind of they're getting themselves back on track.
Alright.
The first person who was leading out with you is basically right in line, hasn't really changed much. But one of this other people, we'll call them, which one's a good name? I'll just give them all names. How about that?
Sure.
So we've got Paolo. Paolo is on fire.
Ooh.
Put him out! Quick!
Alright, then we've got Janata. Alright, we've got Janata. Janata is the one who's just doing okay. We've got Anna. She's one of the ones who just ate it. As is Pietro. And the centaur's name is Barracks.
Barracks.
Okay.
Good name.
Yeah.
So, that happens. Now, let me get back to where I was here. So, you guys, 3 lines of flower-covered crates blocking the street. I'm actually going to need you all to, it's 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So each one, the DC, so that's the first check, you make it over the first circle. Each one goes up by 2. So the next one is a DC 12 and a check.
Natural 1, but I re-rolled 1.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, mark that down.
You need a 12 check?
15 again.
Right?
Yes, yep.
Got a 14.
And we add these extra
I
ones
also
up.
got a 14.
Let me see. For this obstacle, all riders may compare their 3 checks and use the highest result to add to their progress score.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
My mistake.
That's right. So,
However, they must factor in a penalty of -2 for each failed hurdle.
Alright.
Okay.
So that's the first one. The final one is
Third
DC.
one.
Yeah, final one's DC 14.
Oh shit.
So I failed 1.
Okay.
So I
So it's a -2
to my overall
So
progress
you roll
points.
overall progress.
Okay, so I gained.
So, what happens with the natural 20 again?
2 actions in your action phase.
So I get 2 actions, and then I can use that as my
The
thing
highest.
Okay. Do I add like the bonuses and stuff to it?
For what?
For animal handling, and I have a +2 for jump.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. So 25, and that one was 12. So 13.
Alright. Cool.
Man, I'm not gonna win this race
I don't think I'm gonna win either.
unless one of them eats it.
Yeah, they could.
Alright, so Anna, she can't get her shit together.
Fucking Anna.
Paolo, though. Paolo is a champ. Pietro is also not doing great. And Janata, she's okay. Barracks is keeping pace.
Alright.
So, you guys have done that. Now it is coming up to your action phase. What would you guys like to do?
If I push, what's the benefits of it? Do I get like added to?
You spend a bond point,
Point.
and you add 3 to your progress score.
Oh. But I have to make a save at some point?
At the end of this round, you make a save,
Mhm.
and that will the Constitution save.
And if I fail it, I lose progress points.
Now, if you
Or
fail
early
it,
fail it.
you have to wait.
You can't push for another
push.
1d4 rounds.
Oh, okay.
You got all them bond points.
Yeah, I'm a push.
Go for it.
Sure. So you push. So you add 3 to your progress score. And what else would you guys like to do? Anything?
I would like to interact
Okay.
with the flowers.
You can make me a dexterity acrobatics check of DC 10.
Ha! Fail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, I'll let you reroll it.
Alright, thanks, Pat.
Just be honest.
There we go.
Alright. So you, as you're riding along, Rick, you scoop up a handful of flowers from a child and wave them in the air, and the crowd is delighted. They think you're great. They're like, look at this guy.
I'm a porcupine.
Yeah, that's all that happens.
That's all I really want
Alright.
to do.
Anything for you?
Okay, does trying to go invisible take a bond point? Or incorporeal, take a bond point?
Let me tell you. Once per day. It doesn't say, so I'm going to just say it counts as your action. You have to make a animal handling check.
I
This would
am
be your
going
action.
to try
You have another action too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm
to
thinking.
go incorporeal.
Animal handling check.
A 20.
You watch
Trip.
as you go incorporeal for 3 rounds.
That's cool.
Up to 3 rounds. You can choose to end it early if you want.
Right.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, maybe
So-
we'll see. That's a super fast booster. Makes you go faster. If incorporeal.
So
Can I-
Totally cheap, Drew.
Push a second time?
you can. So Janata is. So let's see. What's Anna doing? Anna.
Looking at Dick.
Anna's
Just like us.
She's just like she's riding and she's pissed. Anna's just like, I trained for this my whole life, and she just like looks around and she's just like, fuck it, and she reaches into her like duster and pulls forth this golden stick,
Oh.
and as she gestures to the area in front of her, you watch as jutting out from the side in the process of this are multiple little sticks with orbs on the end.
Oh.
And they begin to spin. And something happens. A cloud, a orb of impenetrable darkness appears in front of you as the wand of wonder casts forth darkness.
In front of who?
And like in the front of the pack.
Ah.
So the next setting you go into, you'll be in
Recover
darkness.
wouldn't do anything for that, right?
No, you are in darkness.
Oh no! I'm gonna
Pietro-
run in. Oh, it doesn't.
Pietro is like, nah, that's dumb.
I'm gonna push again.
Okay.
Push through the darkness.
And then, so Janata will push as well. So she will have
For a
3.
win.
Oh!
Mic drop. And she can't push for 1d4 rounds now. So she's got
Older.
What
4
else?
rounds.
Oh, do I have to make the con saves now?
Yeah, at the end of the turn, yeah. So it's the end of the turn now, so go ahead. Those of you who push.
I have to do 2, right? Did I do it
Yes.
twice? Okay.
Yep.
Do I add the horses con?
Yeah, you use the horse's con.
Do I add the number you gave me, or is that like the big number that
That's
you
the
put
that's you use the
modifiers?
modifier, yeah.
2? 14.
So you're fine.
Cool.
Alright. And
10.
Paolo, okay,
That's fine.
10's good. So Paolo, he's also gonna push.
Cool, cool, cool.
He's doing pretty good. Alright, so the flowers happen.
Yeah, they're 9 obstacles. They're the 9
Alright.
locations that we go to.
So,
How far in front of this Anna character am I? I have 12 progress points.
you are significantly far in front of her.
Because if I wasn't...
Anna is in the back of the pack,
Ah.
which is why she was through the darkness in front in hopes that it will trip some of you up in whatever the next obstacle is. So, you race down the road among the opulent plazas of the Guild's Ward, speeding past more cheering spectators. Up ahead, the course runs below an elevated walkway between two mighty guild houses. Beneath this span, bundles of straw decorated in cloth and gold, hang from chains and swing back and forth. So, this seems pretty straightforward. However, so I will need you all to make a breaking obstacle.
Oh no.
As the bundles are swinging back and forth, you need to pull back on the reins
Oh shit.
to not impact. Yeah?
16 plus 4.
Okay.
14?
Fucking hell.
It is a DC 10.
24.
13? But I'm also incorporeal?
So you just go through it. You don't have to make the check.
But then I don't gain progress points if I don't make the check.
Okay, so you gain your progress points.
Okay, cool.
Just I
said it was
fail.
15?
I have a 7.
7.
I got 24.
Okay, so the DC was 10.
Oh.
He's pretty good on horse.
Okay.
Gee.
But hang on, there may be a secret thing.
Oh no!
So he is pretty good on the horse. However, hidden in one of the bundles of straw is a cobra. And it strikes the moment your horse passes. Your horse must make a Constitution saving throw versus the poison of this hidden cobra.
5 plus 13.
Not plus 13.
Plus 1.
Plus 1.
Yeah, 6.
So your horse is stricken by this venom, and you have a -1 to all progress scores for the next 2 rounds.
Ooh. That could have been a lot worse.
So you fail.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happens when you fail?
I have to use a bomb point to recover.
Yes. So when you fail, let's see. Failing an obstacle means you must use your action phase to recover.
Right.
But you don't get an action phase this time, I guess, if I read that correctly. Success gives the opportunity to take an action. Failing an obstacle check means you must use your action phase to recover. So you will use that to recover, spend a bond point, and make a a DC 10 animal handling check. The number of points, the result total above the DC is added to the negative result from the failed obstacle.
Question. Was the breaking check, do you add animal handling?
Damn.
Oh, lucky.
It's an animal handling check.
Cool.
I think all of them are?
Yeah, they're all animal handling check.
Then in that case,
Beautiful.
what did I have? 14?
Alright, so I recover.
17.
I was 3 under, but I got a 20 on my check, so I add 7.
If that, yeah, I think that works out. I told you how much you get for failing an obstacle before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what are these guys up to? Anything? Alright, so you have made it through, and let's see what they do. Alright, Janata's okay. And the fucking Ken. Palo's okay. Pietro sucks. And Barracks, he keeps on trucking, and he's not doing great, but he's not doing bad.
Who's winning right now?
What's everybody's progress total?
13!
36.
37.
19.
Alright, so it's basically you two and Paolo are in the lead of the pack.
Alright.
Anna is in the back with a fucking -2. She's done garbage this whole time. You guys are leading. You guys are ahead of Barracks, who is at about a 20. Pietro is at about a 5. Janata is at a 12.
Alright.
So,
Action phase?
it is your action phase. Push ahead. What about you don't get one, you're recovering. What about you?
Recovered.
You can't interact with anything.
I can't.
You can still push
I could.
because you're incorporeal, but you can't interact. What about you?
I'm not gonna push now.
You're not gonna do anything?
Could I cast a spell?
I'm still by the Cobra.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Could I athletics check, try and throw the Cobra at...
No, because you rode past it. The cobra struck out at you. If you want to interact with the surroundings, you can try to do that.
Oh, darkness.
It is in darkness, which I really should have made you have disadvantage on stuff, but I forgot. What spell did you want to
I
cast?
won't do anything because it's darkness.
Interesting.
What?
I won't do anything because
Okay.
it's
So you don't. All right. So you're gonna cast sleep where? You cast it at them.
I was gonna say at.
Oh no, my horse.
Oh
Yeah. Healing word.
they're not dead. They're just unconscious.
Yeah. At.
They don't need healing. They still have full health.
Smack it away.
Where was Pietro?
What?
Pietro was he was at a
Paolo
5.
Action search.
Oh,
Paolo's right in
up
with them. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can. Fucking front of the pack.
So it's gonna get all. All right. So you cast sleep. Go ahead and roll your
5d8.
What's everybody's health for their horses?
15.
16.
Paolo.
Well, I roll like shit, so 8, 12, 13.
Oh no.
13, 21, 22.
All right. So what's your horse's hit points?
15.
16.
Your horse goes unconscious. What was your total?
22. I think that would be it.
And you rolled a. You had a 16 and you had a 15.
Yeah.
So both of your horses. Did I do that
No,
right?
because 15 minus, I would have 7
7
points
left.
after that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking 30.
What about Paolo?
Paolo's horse is fine. Paolo's horse is stronger than.
it?
It's got 18 hit points.
Oh.
How does that?
It goes directly to the lowest one.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Does mine lose HP?
No.
No, it's
It's
just
just
sleep.
okay.
So your horse, you watch as you're like, and you watch as Wave's horse just. So, all right.
Shit, did not mean that. But it happened.
All right, so let me see.
Could I actually surge at this point and smack my horse away?
You don't get actions like that in a horse race, my friend. So
Soothe, right? He could soothe to remove the sleep condition from his horse.
That makes sense.
And this is
I will need you to make me just a concentration check, though. Because this may not happen.
11?
well, there goes me.
It's just one of the rounds.
Yeah.
You have better than average animal handling,
Plus guidance.
plus guidance.
Does sleep have somatic components? Otherwise, you don't have to. If it does, then you may have failed your concentration check for riding and casting at the same time.
Okay.
Interesting.
My phone's pretty much dead.
Yep.
Sleep
Verbal,
has
somatic
somatic and
material.
material.
Alright, so unfortunately, your horse doesn't go unconscious. Because you had to make a DC 13 concentration check to get the spell up, so the spell fizzles as you try to cast it, and you're like, fuck. So nobody can see because you're incorporeal.
Yeah!
Well, you're not invisible, you're just,
Yeah!
whatever, it's fine. So you're
And I
like,
think he's just like, hey.
Suck a dick! Oh, it didn't work.
yeah. Alright, now we know that's been established.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so, alright. And so you're fine. Now let's see what these assholes do.
Those assholes.
So, Paolo's gonna push because he's at 39. Barracks is at 20.
Good. We're neck and neck.
Uh,
I'm behind.
he's not gonna bother with that.
Barracks probably has pretty good HP.
Barracks is gonna push.
He's also got the scepter.
Okay, and then let's see. What about these guys? Pietro.
I want to stay close to him.
Pietro is just angry. He's gonna push, and he's gonna push to a big old 8, but he's gonna be unable to do anything
Fly
for
the
2
ambassador.
rounds. And
You
then
don't wanna fly
Anna,
the scepter at the ambassador. No. We're right in the middle of
She
doing the
recoiled from
ceremony.
Janata.
Later.
After when we're done with the race.
Janata looks
That
at
is a good idea.
Wave, and Janata pulls forth a wand, gestures it at you, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please. And she yells, "Halt!"
Well, 16.
Let's see what the spell of this wand is.
Cast bless on your horse before the start of the race.
That would be.
DC 15. Alright, so you succeed as you feel a mental compulsion come over you to try to force you to stop your horse in its tracks. You overcome it. And she continues riding on.
Horse ain't going to sleep. Horse ain't stopping.
So, you guys continue on past this.
One
So,
can say we push on.
ahead, the marked race courses a marked race course passes through a pair of high stone arches, one after another, marking the border of the wide, grass-filled expanse of the Centaur enclave of Trombei. As you thunder through the first archway, an elf-marked woman, which I'll get to that eventually, steps from the crowd near the second, gesturing with a strange device resembling a gear and a crystal festoon telescope. The road between the two archways filled with a black field of energy. And
Oh, don't be scared, horse.
you erupt out of a black topiary arch and race along a dark path between crooked towering trees. Far down the lane ahead of you, a second archway shines with daylight. The air here has the sharp, cold tang of winter along with the unmistakable odor of blood. All around you is darkness, with no moon or stars evident. Yet there is enough light to see the road and razor-sharp fingers of the grasping branches that lash out as you speed by. This is an agility obstacle.
Alright.
DC 10 dexterity. Everyone must make a DC 10 dexterity saving throw.
Ourselves?
I guess so. Because they don't provide stats for the. Oh, wait.
I mean, you gave me stuff +2 for agility. Do I add that to this?
Yeah, it doesn't really give me.
And is it still animal handling?
No, it's a dexterity saving throw, so I'm going to have to write this down for playtesting, but. Okay, so let's see. Everyone must make a DC 10 dexterity saving throw or suffer 2d6 slashing damage plus shadow sap poison. Riders of horses who have bonuses to smashing obstacles may also apply them here. Branches that successfully strike a rider also hit the rider's mount, dealing 1d4 damage plus poison to the horse. So it's your dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So I don't add agility from the horse.
No.
Okay. So just do mine.
Alright, so
Big time.
You said if we fail, we get slashing damage?
Yes, but you can't use your
I
actions.
can't use
So
the...
this is your dexterity saving throw.
26.
Yep, you're good.
17.
26?
Alright.
2.
So you fail. You take 8 points of slashing damage. Your horse takes 4 points of slashing damage.
Oh, that's actually
And
bad.
you are inflicted by shadow sap. I need you to make a constitution saving throw, as does your horse.
That's 25 for me.
Okay? And the horse?
Natural 20 for the horse.
Okay. So, you are not poisoned.
Nice.
And you do not have -1 to progress and disadvantage on strength and dexterity based checks. So you're good.
But I have the -1 progress from last time for this
Correct.
round.
Do we gain progress
I was
on
gonna
these?
say, yeah, like...
Yes, this is an agility
Yeah.
obstacle, so this one I don't particularly like the way this one is worded. I think it's a little wonky. I'm gonna have to tell Ben that they need to figure this
Maybe
out.
distinguish specifically between the characters and the horses.
Yeah, it gets a little weird, right? Because if you're really good at animal handling, you're severely, in the lead here. But I guess that's sort of the process, right? So,
Makes sense.
Yeah, if you can ride a horse well, you should handle an animal.
Pietro.
And
Hey, Pietro.
some people can handle
You're-
magic rods. Other people can't.
Pietro's in the double digits. Barracks. Where is the rule set out of? So this is actually a play test for a Cobalt Press module called the Shadow Race. I believe it's going to be in the Shadows of Margrave book, which is on Kickstarter right now. I'm not sure. So I can't really divulge all the information, but I can play test it live here for you guys. So that's what we're doing.
Right.
Once I know the official publication of where it is, Brian, I will send it to you so you know. Okay. So, all right. So you guys have gone through that. Anna actually succeeds. Pietro takes a hit. And Janata does okay, and so does Paolo and Barracks. Everybody actually did surprisingly well given the shocking surprise of this. So,
I'm shocked and surprised.
what would you
You didn't have
guys...
to make that check. You're a corporal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm one of the progress points.
Wow.
Alright, so what would you guys... Any actions you guys would like to do?
I want to interact.
Okay. So there's actually, unfortunately, nothing to interact with. But you see that as this happens, you guys are riding along. You're like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. You watch as one of these trees, seemingly with purpose, lashes out towards Barracks.
Ooh.
And Barracks cries out as one of the trees rips open his side, exposing bone and a spray of blood. He raises up the golden baton and says, "Take it! Someone take it!"
I take it.
And he will... Oh, actually, you're right next to him.
Yeah.
So he just hands it off to you.
Ah!
Nice. I have the porcupine.
And then as soon as you pick it, the branches just rend him in half.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
push.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pushing.
Damn. Actually, I don't push. I don't. I'm in corporeal. I don't give a shit.
Oh, shit.
You watch as they're like through you and they get him.
Oh! Yikes.
All right.
Chick just got so much realer.
Nobody dies in this race.
That's what Jenna said. Maybe she's the bad guy the whole time.
So, you guys continue racing onward. Were you pushing? The NPCs, the other ones, they're just like
Oh, I pushed.
they're too fucked up to like figure out what's going on. So did you make your Constitution check at the
Yeah, I'm
end?
gonna
I
push
haven't
too.
made it yet.
Screw it. Let's get out of here. I got a 10 for my Constitution check. Oh,
Oh no, I got a natural 1. I had luck.
Didn't you use that already?
I didn't use luck. I had a reroll of a natural 1.
Which is a luck.
Which is luck.
Oh, you
I know,
used
but I had
lucky.
that one from previously, and then I have a 1. Oh, I also have lucky. Don't I? Do I have lucky in this game? Yes, I do. Lucky. Much better. Much better. 18.
Okay, so
I
you
got
can still...
12.
You? Anything? No? Okay. So, you see a topiary archway ahead with bright sunlight shining through it. With a burst of speed, you dodge the last of the blank branches and you plunge through it. Once again, in Trombei, you emerge from an archway at the far edge of the Centaur Enclave and rocket through Banker's Ward towards one of the wide market plazas of the city, where colorful banners for each house that you belong to hangs on every stall and stand. A great cheer erupts from the gathered crowd as you approach. Directly ahead of you, you see the race course leads into a long pit filled with grain and water. Only the strong horses could power through. However, to one side of the pit, the rope markers of the race, either intentionally or unintentionally, include a long, open-sided merchant tent filled with freestanding shelves of pottery, jars of beer, and other sundries. It is in bounds, technically, and could bypass the pit if you get through the tent in one piece.
What does that mean?
So, you can either go through the grain pit as an endurance obstacle, or try to go through the shop as a braking obstacle. Your choice.
Oh, I'm not good at either of
Going through
those.
the pit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the pit.
Alright, so for the pit, pushing through the water and grain slurries is DC 12 animal handling check.
Bam!
22.
Alright, you succeed.
Ah,
You're corporeal now?
No, I got
Yeah,
one more
turn.
round.
I'm gonna do
This is
it.
the last
13.
Where you going? Through the pit?
Pit.
Alright, you get one. It's 12, so you get one.
Killed it.
Okay. Through the pit. So, like,
12.
roleplay wise, I
0
would
points.
definitely go through the
Yeah, go
tent
through.
because I'm incorporeal. I can just get through it all.
Right.
But I have advantage on endurance checks with my horse, so to gain the progress.
When you think about it,
points-
it's a straight shot through the pit. You have to go around to go through the tent. Might as well go straight through the pit.
That's fair.
And if you're incorporeal, like the grain and stuff doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just
Going through the grain.
Okay.
Get that advantage. Natural 20!
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
So that's 2 actions.
2 actions and it was a 12, right?
Yes.
So I gain...
Alright, so Barracks is out.
Yeah. He died.
Yeah. So Paolo is riding a Capoleon war horse, which, what would he do? Because he seems to be... He has advantage on endurance check, so he's going to go through the grain. Okay, he's good. He's not doing great on numbers here, but he's through. Janata. She's going to run through the shop and impact the wall. Anna manages to make it through the grain. And Pietro, he fails.
I feel like it would be more fun to interact if you try and go through the shop.
Yeah. Probably.
So, let's see.
But you can't, right?
Let's see, Janata, I said it was okay. So she got that. Her halt didn't work last time. Actually, no, she failed. Janata failed. Numbers, I should really just start writing over here so I keep track of what I'm doing. Anna is there. Paolo is doing pretty good. Pietro failed. So he's there. So let's see. It comes to action phases. Let's see. When NPCs are detailed in the short in the appendix. Alright, let's see. Do we have anything interesting? Janata has her wand. Paolo doesn't need to use his wand. It doesn't make sense. Why would he waste it? He's doing great. Alright, so the at the far side of the edge of market, young pages in the tabards of the city hold out short javelins. Beyond them, you see a line of targets as well as a group of robed wizards standing near some decorative awnings. You can do all you would normally do, or you could choose to do a javelin throw to try to throw this javelin into the center. You can't because you're incorporeal. To the center to try to get bonus points by scoring better in these rings.
I'm in for that.
It is, as their action, you can grab a javelin and make a single ranged weapon attack on the target to gain magical bonuses to the watching wizards for their accuracy. Does not require a roll for a rider to grab a javelin as they flash past. So, I need you to you guys would make these with strength. I would guess you could make it with dexterity. It's a ranged.
Can I make it with dex?
I think it's a ranged. Javelin's already a ranged weapon. Does it?
They're a thrown weapon.
Does thrown mean you have to, or does it mean you can?
I don't know.
That's what I forget.
Because depending on what the answer is to this question, I am or am not going to do this.
Okay, what did you get? Remember, you don't have your +1 bonuses or anything, so it's your strength. 20. All right, you get into the second ring.
All right.
+3 progress.
So it's just straight strength, no proficiency.
Strength and proficiency, yeah.
Because you're proficient with it.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
16.
I am proficient.
You get 2 progress once you get into the third ring. Yeah. There's also the awnings overhead with you guys.
It's whatever the weapon is. If it has the thrown property, you would use whatever modifier you'd use for that weapon.
Okay.
So if it's a finesse weapon, you could use dex. If it's not, you can't.
I'm gonna do it.
Try to throw it with strength.
Well, I mean, I have proficiency in it, so it's a +3.
Okay.
No 6.
Ha! No bonus.
That's fair.
Wizards dodge out of the way of your javelin. Okay, and you?
That's fair.
You have 2 actions.
Silly kids.
Push. Whoa.
Eh.
Push for 1.
Okay.
Lucky. And that's my last lucky point. That's 14 for the animal. Or it's his con, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 13. And for my second one, I'm gonna cast another spell.
Let's go.
Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
On.
Paolo.
Alright. So Paolo's gonna make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
What's your DC?
My DC, I think it's a 13. It is a 13.
You get a 14 on the roll.
Ah, butts!
What do you got?
For what?
37.
What happened?
I got attacked and
Yeah.
You lost the power band points and you didn't push or anything.
Yeah.
Where are you at,
I
Celine?
need the bond points though for the end.
Yeah. Just in case.
She got a lot. She
Yeah.
ahead.
She should be ahead.
Those things.
I'm at 44.
I'm at 43.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't think Pat's been tracking accurately either.
30,
For me?
Yeah.
Why not?
46.
I thought you should be higher. I would think.
47,
I didn't
50,
get, I
59.
didn't get any
Okay.
points for like the past 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
been
true. You've
stagnant.
been pretty low. All right,
What are you
so
59.
Alright, cool.
all right, so you were at
44.
44. You're at 44.
43.
Okay, so Paolo
I like to
is at 60.
Winning right
Damn.
now. I want to save it.
What
Paolo's
Paolo
at
at?
60. Janata is at 29. Pietro is at 13, and Anna is at 16.
Oh, she made the positive. She's doing great.
Yeah.
So,
She's
okay.
not negative anymore.
So that happens. You leave the market behind you, plunging right onto the dirt-covered cobblestones of the speaker's board. Garlands of laurel leaves spiral down the ceremonial pillars lining the street. The cheering crowd flashing past is a blur, but you cannot miss the burst of light from a nearby rooftop.
Ah,
A
shit.
different elf-marked woman gestures now with a familiar-looking device. Shadows surge from the pillars enveloping the road in a black void, and you charge across the hard-packed ground of a dark and disturbing carnival. All around, insane parodies of carnival attractions, vendors hawking strange sweets, and performers stretch as far as the eye can see in a dark, moonless night. Directly ahead, a dozen demented jesters with bloody tears stand on high stilts, snapping whips with human-like hands at their tips over their heads, while knife jugglers and flame eaters line the avenue. Daylight beckons from a skull-shaped building at the far end of the road. This is a disturbing place.
I don't like it here.
So, you guys have some options here. You can choose. You have agility or break obstacles to either weave through the forest of stilts, or to try to navigate and break around some of the other things. So, must succeed on a DC 12 animal handling check to weave through the forest of stilt legs. That means the rider and horses are briefly hampered by a falling jester. So it doesn't actually give me an option. So it's agility / break obstacle. So I guess you get to choose which one you want to do.
And it was
So it's
what
that
was
and
the-
animal handling.
DC
and it's
12.
DC 12.
I got a 23.
Agility. Yes. Woo. Good to have advantage.
Cool.
So 21.
20.
Okay.
16.
And I got my flowers too. Flowers and the staff.
Such a pretty hand.
Such a pretty porcupine.
My prettiest porcupine.
Ooh. All right. So.
I don't die.
Good hope.
Sorry, we're right next to each other, so if I die,
So the
then I can
NPCs
take-
are taken aback by this development, taking no action during this phase, other than calling for help calling for everyone to keep riding, no matter what. So, what would you guys like to do as your action?
I'd like to interact.
Okay.
I'd like to act.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to stiff arm some of these stilts for the people behind me. Hopefully it helps them get through better.
Okay. You can scoop up one of the sweets hawked by the Shadowfell vendors and eat them.
You want to?
Well, he said he interacted. Doing so grants you advantage on the first roll in the next round, but disadvantage on the second roll of the next round.
Oh, I was gonna push. So
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
So you do that. So
I do that.
So you're gonna push,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna try to
Attack the stilts.
Okay. As soon as the riders come within range, jesters use their grasping whips to whip and grab and try and grab the baton, while the knife jugglers and flame eaters hurl ranged attacks.
Aha.
Okay.
So these guys look hostile. Can I dodge instead as my action?
Let me see what these guys make attacks. So let's see. That's a 7. 2 ranged attacks. 3 and a ranged spell attack. A 17 against each rider. That sounds dumb.
Who were those first ones against?
Just to decide. So I'm just making some rolls to see how we do here. That's way too many rolls. Alright, so you're corporeal again?
I am.
You are corporeal again. Okay, so you will take 4 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Celine, you will take 8 points of fire damage.
Me or the wolf?
You.
Okay, cool.
That's much better.
Wave, you will take 5 points of piercing damage. And you watch as Anna is just lit up, eviscerated with knives and fire blast, and she is dead.
Oh, shit.
Dang it.
And her wand of wonder falls behind.
No one dies.
Jenna was wrong.
Lone dies in the race, not in the Shadowfell.
Why? What? What is Elfmarked, and why are they sending us to the Shadowfell? I have so many questions for after this.
Okay, so now you here have I have to see if they can try to grab the whip or the thing from you, because they have their whips here. Where is that? One more. Here it is. Nope. I lied. One more back. Jester's whips. They can try to grab a small item. The current wielder must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, where the baton is snatched away and hurled into the air.
Oh.
It's advantage. You have dexterity saving throw. You can see it.
Yeah. 15.
Alright. So, if the save is successful, the rider holding the baton is attacked twice more and must make 2 further dexterity saving throws.
What the fuck?
Each with -5 DC though. So DC 10
Okay.
and then DC 5
Okay.
before getting out of range.
DC 10. I'm gonna use mine.
Wait, just use the number.
Oh shit.
We've never used the number.
+1,
+2.
+2.
And then the last one.
Okay. DC 5.
Done. DC 5. Come on.
I see.
Alright, 15.
So, okay,
yeah.
so you managed to fend them off.
Oh.
The carnival path leads right into the mouth of a house-sized grinning skull, garishly painted with rosy cheeks and black lines around the eye sockets. Sunlight shines from within the mouth, and you charge into the cavernous opening. You tear out of a shadow-filled palazzo doorway, sending the crowd scattering and thunder back into the racecourse as you enter the smith's ward. Lined with smithies, forges, and craftsmen of all sorts, the street is partially blocked ahead by 3 squat basins of oil. As you charge toward the basins of oil, erupt into towering pillars of flame. The only obvious path is a narrow gap to one side that opens into a wide turn around a fanciful water feature. So, there's an endurance obstacle through the spouting fountain. Oh, the fire appears to be 5 feet deep and 20 feet high, but that's what you can tell from where you're at.
Well, we're gonna avoid that.
You can choose to go through the fountains with an endurance or a jumping obstacle over the fire basin.
I'm gonna endure.
Okay.
I get advantage on this, but I get advantage either way.
I'm jumping.
Okay.
So
The fire is DC 12, as is the fountain.
Alright, I got a 15 for the
I got
fountain.
14.
So that is a 13
I'm gonna go by the fountain.
For the fire? Or
for the
jump?
fire.
Okay.
And it's an agility?
Endurance or jumping, depending on which one you're on.
Alright, so I just did endurance. I got a 13.
Okay, so you all succeed.
That includes animal handling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those of you who went through the fountain, You are able to power through the mud, but I need you all to make dexterity checks. DC 10. Or be smashed from the saddle.
Child smashed from the saddle.
You do have another...
DC 10?
DC 10.
From the mud?
No, from the water in the fountain. Blasting upward. It's like dancing waters at Disney World.
Destroying water?
You can't do that. It doesn't work like that.
15.
15.
15's your
Did
number.
you go through the
It's
fire?
been
You went through
wild.
the fire,
I
right?
went through fire.
And
I
it's a
decided
saving
to
throw?
jump.
It's a dexterity check.
Good jumps?
Yeah.
You don't have guidance.
I hit it.
When have you had time? You haven't had time to cast guidance.
The whole race?
Yeah, you're busy this whole time.
Dude, I've been casting guidance the whole time.
Oh, you shouldn't be. How could you do that?
Disqualified.
Shit.
So yeah, you're just that's none of those have. Okay, fine. So what'd you get?
-3 off of
3.
everything.
What? 3?
3.
On your dexterity check. All right, you are slammed from the saddle. You take 1d8 bludgeoning damage, which is 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and slam into the mud. Scramble to your feet, run to the other side of the fountain, and jump back onto your mount. You get an additional -1 to your progress penalty. So you failed. Now for you in the fire, this is a quicker route and gives you a +2 progress bonus to anyone choosing this path.
Ooh.
Cool.
However, using the horses to brave the fire requires riders to spend 2 bond points. If they do not have bond points, the horses balk, requiring the riders to make a dexterity saving throw or be thrown from the saddle.
Got the points.
Yeah.
Horses with bonus against fear or mental control do not have to pay the bond cost. I don't know if those you guys. Okay. So it is Janata, Paolo, and Pietro. Janata is going to fail. Pietro is going to go through the fire. That's going to be for him. Okay. Okay. And Pietro is going to get a natural 20 to go through the fire.
Ooh.
So that's going to be 8 points for him. 2 for that. Okay. So you guys have, those of you who have succeeded can take your actions.
Alright.
It takes bond points to do any action, right? Pretty much.
Not to interact.
Not to interact.
I'm not gonna. Can I interact with
Do you
fire?
want to interact with fire?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna use another spell.
Okay.
At Paolo's horse.
Okay. You're going to do what?
Sleep.
Okay.
Sleep at Paolo-ish.
Concentration check.
Alright.
DC 13.
I'm gonna push.
Nope, fail.
Alright.
Push, but I fail it.
Well, you,
But you
still
still
do the
points.
push.
Right.
You just can't push again for 2 rounds.
Alright.
And you're
Which is the
failed.
rest of the race. So, you know.
You failed there, and you are not interacting or
So you're
doing
gonna use
anything.
your
Nope.
you use
Keep
a
riding.
bond point to recover, make an animal handling check.
Who's
and
winning
you
it at the
can-
end?
Well, Paolo has a 72.
DC 10, so I make it.
Pietro has a 31 now. And Anna has a 35.
What do you get, Jake?
59.
What about you, Ben?
Mine are botched because of the guidance.
Well,
What are you at
think
anyway?
you're at?
Probably like 38 instead of 48.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
What do you got?
50.
Alright, so we're neck and neck, the two of us.
Well, you're a little further ahead.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
How many more? 2?
Hmm?
2 more?
alright.
This is where I make my comeback.
You could have knocked Ryder into the fountain. Would have been an option if you chose to interact. So, hooves pounding, you storm past the stout fortress-like building of the Cavalry Ward. Up ahead waits the infamous Hobbs Hook. Many famous racers lost the race trying to maneuver the tight right turn around the statue of somebody who you don't know. A hairy, wizened household sprite. As you begin to lean into the hook, you catch a fleeting glimpse of yet another woman holding one of those strange devices. Before everything goes wrong, the cheering of the crowd turns to gasps as the statue suddenly animates. whirling around in a madcap dance, his cloak extending out magically to envelop the racers, and you gallop down an impossible road suspended in an infinite void of darkness, where the light to see by comes from you cannot tell. The path continues straight for a brief time before arching toward upward and back, so you might look up to see someone on the road above you looking up at you in turn. The path then swoops down past the road you currently stand on before leveling off below to extend in a straight line towards a glowing portal shining with daylight. A second road approaches upside down to the pass inverted through the loop formed by your road before also curving down and heading off in a different direction. Though these two roads do not meet, they are only 15 feet apart. On the other road above, or is it below? On the other road, in any event, you see a group of riders, elves by their appearance, but with gray skin, small horns, and disturbingly sharpened teeth, racing towards where the two paths loop together. One of the elves points a wand at the road ahead, sending a wave of writhing darkness rolling towards you. So, this is, let's see. This encounter is designed to happen in one round, so the length of the road is blah, blah, blah. Okay. You must overcome 3 obstacles. First is a fear obstacle. Horses apparently do not like the impossible geometry because the animals react poorly in the strange space. This is DC 12 animal handling check for fear.
15.
Okay.
18.
Oh no, that's an 18.
Cool.
So you're not
So,
60.
Lucky.
18.
Okay.
Do we get progress points for that?
Hang on. Let's see. I think this will probably be like you must overcome all 3 obstacles.
Okay.
So that happens. The Shadowfell rather, magic causes an effect similar to a gust of wind spell, but the width of the road. Riders must choose to either jump their mounts over the wave or power through it. Either way, they must succeed at a DC 12 animal handling check or be pushed backwards. So this is either an endurance or a jump.
Alright. I'm gonna go with endurance.
Going with endurance.
Going with jumping.
21.
20.
Alright. Fail. Okay.
You use
You don't have
charge.
lucky?
What's up?
Yeah,
Did
your
you use
charge
all your
from earlier?
luckies?
Yeah, you did.
I used all my luckies, and I already re-rolled a 1 for...
Yes, but you have your charge from.
Yeah.
But he wants that. He wants that ultimate. That's the
bad time to
trade-off.
fuck up.
What do you mean I haven't fucked up yet?
Right here.
Yeah, but like before this I haven't. And I rolled 3. I've rolled 3 because I rolled a 1. So I got a 1, a 2, and a 3.
So we'll count this for these. We'll do similar to the other one where you can choose one of the 2, the highest.
Is
but
it only
you-
2? I thought it was 3.
Well, we'll see what happens when 3 comes up.
The first
Oh,
one
so I
is
pick
DC
one of the 2.
12.
Oh, you'll pick the highest of the 2 for
Alright.
progress points. And if
Okay.
you fail one, it'll give you a -2, I guess, to the other one.
First DC was
They're both 12.
I failed it.
So,
Fail both?
No, I failed the second one. I passed the first one.
Okay.
Alright, I got a 21. The second one.
Okay, so whichever one you did best on.
That's the one. I'm just mad at myself for rolling that bad.
Yeah, it's the
1,
worst.
2, and a 3.
I was rolling like garbage before we started this race, and then now I've been rolling just fine. Just barely.
Just barely, but just
So Pietro, let's see how the second ones do. Okay. So Pietro, that natural 20 on the end there really helped him turn that around. Alright, so those of you who have succeeded, you have your action. So basically after clearing through this obstacle, the 2 groups of riders pass very near each other on their 2 respective roads. The NPCs taken aback and take no action. You guys are free to take whatever actions you choose to. It looks like these shadow elves are going to attack you. You
Alright.
guys can take attacks if you so wish.
Is the baton still shining with light?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna raise it up at them.
Okay. And
And I'm gonna hit him. Yeah, fuck it.
go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Right.
Maybe raging.
No, because I can't rage right now, can I?
I don't believe so. It's
Alright.
just a take an attack.
Yeah, I'm not gonna attack recklessly. I'm just gonna attack. 20. This isn't a magic weapon, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Does it get a bonus?
Yeah, no
All
bonus.
right, 25.
Okay, 25 hits.
All right.
Go ahead and roll. Let's just call it a d6 as a club.
Yeah. Club him with my baton for.
Can I use one of my tattoos?
Sure.
I'm gonna deal 10
I'm
damage
gonna dragon breath him.
to one of these guys.
Okay, and you're gonna Dragon Breath, so go ahead and roll the damage and I'll make some saves.
No, that's...
Yeah, burning hands.
Can I steal one of these?
Yeah. This is a good one.
Oh, it better be.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh,
Was it good?
yeah, it was not a 4.
Yeah, yours did fine. My 2. Mine did bad. That's so bad. That's such a bad roll for 56.
I've done worse.
I've done worse.
11.
This game,
Okay.
a lot.
Alright, so between the two of you, yours, though you hit and gets hit with the fire breath, is dead. It falls off its horse. The horse dies as well.
Good.
Their horses seem to be made of a little bit of sturdier stuff, so they are scorched, but they are not. They do not fall.
Right.
Can I attack them?
If you wish.
I'll attack one horse. Oh yeah, for 26,
Okay, so go ahead and roll damage.
and that's for 15.
Alright. So it's only just the one attack, just the way this all works out. So you managed to take out another horse. So there is one rider remaining at this point.
And I couldn't action surge.
You cannot.
We can pass both.
So
Could I second wind as a bonus action?
no. It's not traditional combat. I have to stress that again.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I get that.
It's weird.
I've learned that so far.
It's weird that the mechanics for D&D has changed just because.
Yes.
Just as a
Think of it as like a
play
mini game.
test.
It's a mini game. Yeah, it's not how that works.
Just as far as my opinion of the play test.
Right, like casting guidance throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which would have been your action every time would have been to cast guidance, and you wouldn't
That's
be able to do anything else.
He didn't use a lot of his points.
No, it's fine. So, and the one remaining one's gonna try to hurl a sphere of fiery doom.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Your dexterity saving throw.
17.
6.
Ooh, natural 20, so that's a 28.
Okay.
13.
DC's only 10. So Jake,
Jay.
you will take 4 points of fire damage.
You roll with
Oh,
advantage?
that's right. I did not.
See it fall.
2. So 6.
You and your horse will take 4 points of fire damage.
Oh, that is so much less bad than I thought it was going to be. I still have temporary hit points.
At the moment when the roads grow closest and the group of riders pass each other, or rider in this case, in a blur, one of the remaining elves casts a spell, sending a black orb shooting into the road at your heels. Instantly, the path behind you begins to crumble away into the infinite void. This is a speed obstacle.
That is not my best.
DC 12.
Natural
annual
20.
Nice. Here we go.
24.
18.
14.
12.
What was the number? Okay, so since the road curves up and then goes down below your current level, you watch as both Janata and Pietro both stay loose in like this race against the falling, crumbling road,
Shit.
and they begin to fall. Now, the way it works in a Rainbow Road sort of way, they're going to attempt to try to land
Lower.
further down to see if they can do that. No, they both fail, and them and their mounts drop into the infinite void below, lost to.
I'm starting to get why they couldn't get volunteers for this.
Yeah.
Is it like this every time?
Only one
Based
way
on
around.
what Jana told you, no.
No.
Yeah.
It was never like this until this year.
Yeah.
When the PCs reach the portal, horses screaming in terror and elation, you shoot through the portal just ahead of the collapsing road. Once through the portal, you find yourselves back into the race course in Trombei. Ahead of you is Summer's Return, the last straightaway. Far down the street, you can just see the finish line beckoning, thronged by screaming and cheering citizens. You launch into one last push towards victory. So, there are no more obstacles. This is just a sprint to the end, so a speed obstacle, as it were. This is a DC 5 animal handling check as you surge into one last gallop.
23.
21.
22.
3!
Fuck, dude. Alright, so guys, you have that.
So it's whatever you rolled minus 5?
Yes.
We can push.
Hang on.
You don't have speed. You go +2 speed.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Do we still get
as
actions?
yeah, basically, it is tradition for everyone to push their mounts in the last location if they have any bond points left.
Cool.
Those who do push gain a bonus. I'll tell you in a second. Yours don't happen, and what about the rest of you?
Yeah.
Action.
Oh, I'm pushing, yeah.
Okay. So, the last push. Riders with bond points remaining in their pool who use the push action gain a large bonus to their progress score instead of the usual bonus for push. How many bond points do you each have remaining?
1.
4.
5.
You have 1?
Yeah, I've used them all.
So for your last push, you just get a +1 bonus.
Wait, really?
Yes. How many do you have?
4.
You get a +2 bonus, Pat.
5.
You get a +3 bonus for the last push.
And that costs the point?
No, this is just the end because it's
Wait.
tradition.
So I don't have to. That was me after I minus 1 for the last push. I had 2 left at this round. At the beginning of this round.
Yes, sorry. So you had 2 is still +1.
It's still +1. Alright, that's fine.
Alright.
Okay, so you guys push horses racing as fast as you can. Just the 3 of you. Oz falls back a little bit.
Made
And
it out
it's
of
the 3 of you, well, the 4 of you and Paolo remaining. What was your final total?
50.
I don't remember.
What was yours?
50, 60, 70, 80.
Mine was botched.
Okay.
I mean, I'm minus 10. But I don't know.
Gee.
With the minus 10, I have 74.
30, 46,
That's me winging it.
7.
Okay.
Taking out maybe 2 4s.
Shut up.
Yep.
Shush.
I just-
Shush. I've been writing down what I got
Taxes.
each round. I haven't been adding it up.
Why?
I don't know. Hush you.
Sorry. I'll ridicule you when you're done counting.
101.
Fuck.
And Paolo came in with. Just do some math. 102. No, let's see here. Last one he got was 10, and he got a +4 at the end. So 99 is Paolo's final number. So you are the winner, the champion.
I want that stick though. Things keep trying to kill whoever has it.
When the racers thunder across the finish line, the golden baton explodes with an aura of golden radiance.
Oh, good.
This aura seems to expand outward in an instant, an ever-widening bubble of enveloping the city. You see the ambassador convulse in sudden pain, her illusion failing to reveal the unmistakable form of a Shadowfell. Or a Shadowfae, right? Someone from the Shadowfell. Before she vanishes in an implosion of dark mist. Elsewhere in the crowd, more points of mists mark where other Shadowfae agents have been banished. Trombei, for now at least, is safe.
Cool.
So,
Damn.
as soon as the race is complete, you're all swarmed with exhilarated fans. Brina is lifted atop the shoulders of cheering citizens and paraded around the piazza while the crowd chants, Brina, Brina, Brina. It provides you with obviously the rewards you were planned. You'll get what you asked for, and you also have a +1 bonus to your any charisma or any checks due to you have a status here in this city, or actually a +2 to any checks that involve trying to kind of convince people one way or another because you are the champion.
Okay.
Cool.
Of the world of Trombei.
So, that, folks, was The Shadow Race by Kobold Press. That was an interesting little thing there.
That was fun.
Tense right at the end.
What do you guys think as far as how it went and what it was like?
At the end, you follow your death forever.
Yeah, my
Yeah, what
question
happens
is,
is what if you fail?
If you fail in the Shadow Realm.
What
or in the
happens?
Shadowfell.
Yeah.
So, the only one that could really
Die in
ever...
the Shadowfell, you die for real.
The only one that could ever actually pose real danger to you was that last one.
I felt like that.
So you have one chance, since the PC road bot, so you fail, right? This requires a DC 15 dexterity saving throw. Those who find themselves in their mounts landing on the lower road and lose 10 from their progress score. Those who fail tumble off into the void. What becomes of them is left for the GMs to decide.
Interesting. Interesting.
I liked it. I really liked the horse race mechanic. I thought
it
it was
was
a lot of
a lot of
fun. It was good. I thought it was like told well. The story was told well.
Yeah.
I was invested.
Some tuning up a little. That's
Yeah, I
what
mean,
Yeah,
it's a playtest,
little,
right?
playtest,
yeah,
but no, I
little
enjoyed
things
it.
could be more clearly written, I guess.
And if I'm fair, I was kind of reading it as we went, so it may have, but I did notice like grammatical things, and I also had to change all of the pre-written text to not be from Midgard to fit it to my game. So I'm trying to read through these things and change things on the fly as I went through.
Fair.
So yeah.
No, but I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a good time.
Pat, you haven't really spoke up too much, so.
I mean, besides what I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it went well. We'll have to write up a full description for Ben. So let us see. So as this happens, we're gonna bring the episode to a close. Rena is hoisted above Jesus, dude.
Hoisted above Jesus, dude.
Jesus, dude.
Hoisted above these, and you're pumping your fists as you do, mostly just in general, to punch things. I almost said fisting the air.
Technically, she is though.
Technically, she is. You notice.
Yeah, girl.
No, 1, 2.
That like on the last one that will kind of in a very Breakfast Club way close out the session with that last punch. You feel that as you do that, like kind of swirling around your fist as that fist comes up into the air and kind of punctuates the end of the episode. Slow curling mist of ice forms around your hand and it's like apparently spark shards of ice. I mean, it's the trinket, right? But I know this one. So sometimes your unarmed strikes hit so hard that shards of ice crackle along your arms.
Interesting.
Due to the trinket donation.
Alright.
Thanks. Very cool.
Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We ran a little bit late, but we started a little bit late. Hopefully, I saw from the beginning, with the exception, obviously, of the encoding issue, which has resolved itself, but I'll look into that a little bit more. I saw the lighting was good.
Nice.
And the sound was good.
Nice.
So that's good. Hopefully everybody enjoys that and this setup works well.
Bad.
We have a couple other lights. I have some lights that I may try to see if it makes things look a little more, because it feel a little dark in here to you guys? Like, it's lit, but it also feels... Does that make sense? Like, it feels
Yeah,
lit, but it
I
feels
understand.
dark.
It's shadowy.
It's shadowy. Okay.
Well, we were just dealing with the shadow
Shadow.
fell, guys.
That was by design.
Oh, did it?
No, I have big like stage lights to. I'll probably put it in the closet so it doesn't overpower everybody. But hopefully the diffusers on them are wide enough in that it doesn't just look like everybody's lit from the side.
Fair.
Oh, blind.
So, anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back next week.
Make sure to follow us on all the mass medias, Nerd Immersion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest.
And once again, thank you.
Tumblr.
Yeah, good job.
All right,
That's
good.
Yeah,
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and check out our sponsors.
Yeah,
Edward Academy, Initiative Coffee Company, all great stuff. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you.
Yes. So next week we'll be back with another 2 more weeks of Evrand before we get to the 30th of October, the day before Halloween. We will have Evil Game. We're totally just
Evilest game, the evilest game.
so. That
When you guys get off the train.
Finally.
fucking final.
Right?
That took a while.
All right.
A lot of
We'll
things
see
Been on
you
that
to
train
do
for
on
a
the
long
train.
time.